This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
Couldn't go anywhere. We're supposed to get some snow tonight.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Open Comms. It's Friday. We are here, and it's Friday. I said that twice. I'm Drayden. We got Dirk here, Rains here, Brisk is here, Hyper Viper, and LB. So...
Drayden, I'm happy that you were here to tell us all what day it is, because I would not know.
Well, I just,
otherwise.
Hey, people gotta know.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I say that, and everyone that's in the EU is just like, no, it fucking isn't.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, bitch. But,
It's already Saturday.
Future people.
Yeah, so we could just keep continuing with the tradition of just opening with shots from now on.
We should open with shots for Lyson for the raid. Thank you for that. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you have a good Friday.
Yep.
Party of two. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a shot? Hold on one second.
Yeah,
Come on, Dirk.
yeah, we're
Sorry.
Too slow.
Hey, it's Dr. Lon.
I'm going with I'm trying a local vodka from a local distillery here. It's called Three Bitches Vodka. So
that's
I'm having three bitches tonight.
And then you
and everyone's jealous. Brisk, 9 months. Oh man, you got your Twitch bit, your INN Twitch baby.
There you go.
What's his name?
Shots.
Yeah, I should probably resubscribe.
Oh, and Hyper for
Twitch Prime.
the first month.
Nope.
Nope. Just toss the whole bottle in the garbage. I
No,
was gonna ask what the verdict was.
I'm not doing that, but I'm sorry, Three Bitches. You got a really cool name, and I'm glad I got the bottle to like hold, you know.
So wait, that's a wheat vodka?
It's a wheat vodka.
So you think it's the gluten that's the problem?
Dirk, you gotta do the gluten-free vodka.
Yeah.
Bert
Well,
has
you know.
done-
Was it
wrong.
potatoes vodka? And that-
Potatoes is normal. That's interesting.
Yeah, potatoes is normal vodka.
you went with
Tito's is a
At this
corn
point-
vodka.
At this point, if you
Both
walk
are
into
gluten-free.
any place, any large place, right? It's like there's fucking vodka made out of friggin' everything up there. But yeah, anyways, sorry, Three Bitches. I mean, I'm gonna drink it tonight and everything, but
Isn't corn
Don't let
vodka
go
just
I'd
like
have to mix
moonshine?
you.
Dak Eller, I could take a listen, but we have to use royalty-free
It's the
music
bourbon without the
on this channel. So, well, except for the times that we don't, which is a lot. But for the constant intro that's there every week, it's not just like a one-off, like a Christmas or some kind of holiday thing. We have to use royalty-free, and so being that is a song by an actual band with a name, I'm assuming it's not royalty-free.
So
We
Dirk,
can
is
pay
it
the
worse
royalty,
than
right?
No,
I mean, we have money.
50 cents?
We got that fat Dirk money.
Yeah, we got the Bromander data. Thanks for stuff. Yeah, it's See, the thing is, like, Twitch has an overarching royalty. They have like a list of like 1,000 songs that you can use on Twitch and it won't get muted. But the thing is, that doesn't work because I guess INN puts all the stuff that's on their channel over onto YouTube, and YouTube will, being that they're a monetized YouTube channel because they have ads and stuff, it'll actually automatically mute anything that's not royalty free there, and so everything gets screwed up, and it gives LifeShifter a headache trying to port stuff over every time we, all those times that we play songs that are, copyrighted songs, gives them a nightmare, but we do it anyway once in a while.
Nice. So Dirk, is it the Three Bitches vodka worse than or better than Popov?
Oh no! It's better than that. It's okay. So
It's not what he wanted.
Oh,
I don't know, but
okay.
it's not as smooth as Tito's. It's got a little more burn than Tito's, and it's got a less than kind of neutral flavor that kind of lingers. So that's not what I'm looking for in a vodka. Another vodka drinker, I drink Tito's because it is super smooth. It doesn't have a burn, and yeah.
It tastes great,
because I
and
don't
it's
really
less
like
filling.
fucking hard alcohol. Like, despite what people out there want to think, I do not like hard alcohol. I'm looking for something. Means to a fucking end. Like lettuce and salad dressing. I want the salad dressing. The lettuce is just the means.
Yeah, I mean,
You were liking that peach moonshine, though.
Jeez.
Derek, you saying you don't like hard liquor is like Progod saying he doesn't like feeding. So if you don't like it, why do you keep doing it?
Are we diving? Are we diving?
Well, wait,
we
wait,
could go for
before-
we could go
I love you,
for
Progod.
a deep
I wanted
dive.
Progod on the show
We
tonight. I
can't
guess he didn't have
start yet.
time, so
We
I had
can't
to tease
start
him a
yet.
little bit.
Are we diving?
What? We can't start
No,
yet?
no, because I have to say we tried to invite the hottest member of Test and the hottest member of PanFam onto the show tonight, but both ProGod and Alpha Star Pilot were busy, so therefore it's just us.
Ah, that's a shame. I wanted to hear I want to hear about these fights because all I'm seeing are the Reddit leaks because I wasn't involved in anything, so I'm missing all of it.
I caught one and I was involved in another, but yeah, a lot of like the early morning stuff that happened in US time zone I was not there for. I heard it was a wild adventure and lots of fun.
Well, I'm wondering if
Lots of dead dreads.
I was skimming through some of the Reddit stuff in the show notes that was that you Hype Forever that was putting those in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of them was Villy's post that he put out, like the paste bin thing that he had. And at the bottom he says, like, we still have a lot of capitals out here, like a surprising amount of capitals. And maybe we'll eventually send those home, but it'll almost be just as much of a pain than to insure them. So I'm wondering if he's just like, they're just going to degaff it and be like, hey, let's just whelp all our capitals and insure them and get them out of here that way. So, I don't know, that might be like a precursor to like more feeds in the future.
I don't know. I mean, that's quite a hefty chunk of losses they've sustained. What is it? Is it just this 1 week, or has it been over 2 weeks now?
There was
With the
one
two
in the
big
middle of last week, and then there was one in the middle of this week.
Okay.
The one last week was still, pretty, I want to say, significant in
Well,
the grand scheme of just feeding capitals, but not as bad.
That one was actually
pre-deployment.
that was like a scrimmage, from what I understand.
It's a warm up.
Yeah,
200,
that wasn't
300
regular
scrimmage?
season.
Only 300 bill. It's not that much.
Yeah,
exhibition
that's
game.
pennies these days.
Well, but
Already
wasn't that
replaced.
the story that the actual deployment or a campaign in the north hadn't really started? But so I'm classifying that as a scrimmage, and then they got into the regular season and found out that
They lost the opening game.
Well, the thing that I found interesting when I saw that thread initially, when ProGod writes so few words, it's going to be interesting. Instead of a long blurb. I was like, ooh. When he says just good fight, PanFam, I was like, okay, let's see. Oh, ouch. That's painful. But, you get baited sometimes and you bait other people. It's kind of at least they drop the hammer.
It's not like they don't have a massive dread cache that they can just throw around that they haven't been building up for like 2 years. So
Yeah.
And so I didn't read the threads or whatever it was, but are PanFam still invading Geminate? Because I've been reading on Twitter that it sounded like
you mean
they were-
test?
Are Test still invading PanFam and Geminate? Or are they actually withdrawing, or are they calling in backup? Because I think it was like Grath was tweeting about how they were calling in goons or something like that, but I don't know. Like, do you have insight into that?
there was
the
a
Schwab
leaked
thread.
There was a leaked I don't know. I guess it was a paste bin of Viley. I always pronounce his name wrong. Is it Villy or Viley?
I call it
don't fucking
Villy.
know. I feel bad because I've talked to him a
feel
dozen
bad.
times and I never
not
can
like-
remember his fucking. I'm as bad as Matterall in pronouncing this guy's name.
Yeah,
The paste bin
seriously.
wasn't deleted. I literally just looked at the paste bin thing tonight. So
Yeah.
unless there's been
so-
a copy made.
I mean, it just, as I remember what it read was basically they said, look, this didn't go the way we wanted it to. We're not leaving. It's not going to be a death clone. It's going to be a jump clone kind of thing. And we'll keep playing around on here, but it's not like a major thing anymore. And that mistakes were made, that type of stuff. So, and then it said that it looked like that they could have called all of Legacy in if they wanted to, and they probably would have been able to do everything. But that's not what they wanted to do right now. But they are going to talk to other allies. And of course, anytime Test says other allies, everybody automatically assumes that it's Imperium. So
What other allies do they have?
I don't know. Who else are their allies? Everybody loves Test, right? They're dinosaurs.
Well, with the wasn't Test flying with goons during that one? What was it? It was the Ishtar's
war
died.
that doesn't have a name?
The iHubs and the There was they were like Whelping
Yeah.
Ishtars.
Yeah.
Horde was Whelping Ishtars.
Yeah, the Horde Ishtars. Yep, that was over the eye.
Yeah, Goons were with Test in that one.
Or beginning of
I mean, it wasn't all of Goons though. That was just a SIG. That's space violence. It's flying out there.
Yeah, I mean that was Kendar's guys that were doing that.
Yeah, then you have USTZ, amazing people. Liberty Squad, best squad. I think, and Black Ops. They've, I think, killed a total of 25 iHubs in Kalevala to date. So that's I don't even know how many systems are in Kalevala, but anytime you lose 25, and that's supposed to be a rental grounds, that's pretty significant. Not granted, it's not Geminate, but still having
It's
the
hurting.
fun. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what income sources do they have, right? They have rental space and they have the high sec market, and they're sort of losing both.
But they can rent. They can rent in drone lands.
That's what Kalevala Expanse is, drone lands.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So it's been interesting that lots of fights, lots of skirmishing around it too, not just these big explosive battles.
Yeah.
A lot of people enjoying 100 on 100, 100 and 200, 100 on supers. But some good content. We had a little bit too much of a dry spell. I think everybody would agree. No fights going on. It seemed like.
Well, so with the big Dread Bomb loss things, did the PanFam, so they dropped the supers and then Test dropped the Dread Bomb on those?
I believe, if I remember right, I'm not sure off the top of my head, so I might be inaccurate, but I believe Test had dropped a Fortizar, and then...
Yeah, it was a bait Fortizar, as I understood it.
Yeah, but I guess PanFam found out about Test bait, so then they baited Test to drop the Dread Bomb, and then they got their hammer dropped on them with lots of Supers, Titans, and just a bloodbath. And it sounds like there was some Dresser landing in odd distances or something. So,
Like
I wasn't there. Just
Like
yeah,
bugs?
second
Like,
hand.
we lost our fleet. Must have been a bug.
Right, exactly. No, I thought it was. I mean, look, Progod freely admitted that he made a mistake. They made mistakes, so it's nice, and he can joke about it because it was funny. Because today, in a amusing reversal of fortune, because 2019 is a weird year, Snuff and Init had dropped our super fleets on an NC./Try Dread Bomb that they were fighting on a Fortizar, and PL had a Stuka fleet, and I laughed because it's 2019. PL has a Stuka fleet, and Init's dropping Titans, so that's kind of a reversal of fortune. It was funny, but Progod in the thread made a joke: who drops dreads on supers anymore? Who does that? Well, because he did it, and it was funny. So I give him credit for being willing to laugh about it because some people would get salty and bitchy, but he owned it. So that's my boy Progod. Avalon.
Apparently, the
Avalon's in
North
the chat.
built a wall of fucking faxes, according to
Hi, Avalon.
the Chin Doom Chilla.
I hope his foot's doing better. I haven't seen any
Apparently, it
updates
is.
on his
He was
on
out,
his leg.
He was out shredding like the next day or something.
That's good.
Ooh. It's no fun.
Man, I'm having to restrain myself from calling more shots. But
Why?
well, because I got
How lit do you want to get at your brother's house with his kids
no,
running around?
well, there's that, but the main
Don't be
reason
the
is
one yelling labia.
no, yeah, it might be. No, it's so they're going on a cruise in the morning, and their flight leaves at we gotta leave here at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning. So I gotta make sure that because they're driving out there, but then I gotta drive the car back, and I gotta make sure that I'm not still half drunk when that happens. So
Wouldn't it be funny if Drayden left his feet on the entire time he was gone, like he's done before? That would be pretty amusing.
well, I mean, the first time it was funny. Then after that, like the 7 or 8 times it's happened since then, it's kind of like almost it's like a 1 in 10 chance it'll happen, but.
Bitches!
In a shot?
You guys go for it. I'll do like one every other one. That way,
Greedy pussy.
I was only doing it because you said you were.
Right,
wanted
shots.
to
Yeah,
do
you
it
said you
otherwise.
wanted a
I
shot,
said
and you didn't do one.
I said I wanted one. I said I gotta
probably
refrain
should've-
though.
And instead of calling shots, I'm going to call for bitches.
Oh.
Bitches.
There you go. Are you still drinking that?
I
He
don't
just
have
got
anything
it.
else.
Oh, okay, all right. He doesn't have anything else.
I don't
It's-
walk down there and buy like 6 different bottles of
Durst got the
Why not?
Bundaberg syndrome now.
I probably shouldn't get too drunk.
I'm sorry,
there are
Shaq.
new-
25th. Okay.
Oh, there are new Nick skins out, and they're really pretty, and I just want to buy them for everyone.
You're talking about the.
Yeah.
Could you buy one from me? Because I don't know. I don't want
Please
to buy it
do.
myself because I don't have a Nix anymore.
Rich, shut up.
Do you have a link for it? Oh, did you guys get mod powers?
I did not.
I
You
don't
did
know
not?
how I would see that.
Oh,
right.
just
I-
no.
I don't
Just
know,
type
type out
type in
there.
the chat. You would have a little green sword next to your name.
See my little green sword?
No powers.
Nope.
No,
Dane
not
does.
yet.
Nope.
Not me.
All right. Well, yeah.
Thank
I-
God.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Have
Yeah,
the
good thing
power.
that I got it.
Yeah, I'll go have somebody.
Thank God I'm here. Jesus.
Yeah. But anyway, man, where were we? The test, this thing. Do we want to do the security update thing, or we want to do that later?
Which security update?
Or not the security update.
I mean, oh,
Chat.
Well, I
Chat
don't
for.
I don't know. Because actually
Do I need-
that security update, it's probably good because it actually dovetails to something that I have this vague remembrance of kind of railing on last week, which was the whole input broadcasting thing. That was last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was
I
with the,
can't
with the
remember.
chat, the
You
chat
ran
part
through
of it. Yeah, the guy that was doing it with that got caught streaming his.
Marshy
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, Marshy.
Marshy,
We
Marshy.
got into the conversation about Marshy, but then we got into the conversation about all that. Well, apparently, a security update came out today, and in the first 18 days of this year, they have what does it say? Here's a few statistics since the turn of the new year. Well, let's go back. Recent actions. This report comes off the back of a large account ban wave that occurred in the last few days in relation to client modification. We're happy to report that the team has identified and permanently banned 637 accounts that were positively identified as using modified clients, also known as account hacking, which is a breach of the EVE Online EULA. And then goes down to say,
no, wait. What is? Can I ask a clarifying question? What actually is that? Because like when I think
Yeah.
account hacking, I think you got my
So it
password
doesn't
logged
say-
into my
No,
account.
No.
Account hacking is
You're
the client.
you're hacking
They
the
were modifying
client.
the client.
Client.
Yeah.
So like Python injection.
Oh, okay.
it would
So,
actually-
Sphere.exe.
Okay.
It would
Right.
fall
Sphere.
under. It would fall under anything that has to do with you basically modifying the use of the client.
Yeah.
So whether you were actually, doing, and I don't understand the technical terms of Python injection and shit like that. Okay, I just understand it in kind of this rudimentary way. But even if you were using, input broadcasting and stuff like that, I think it still falls under kind of their client hacking sort of, type thing.
Yeah.
In addition to this, the war against faction warfare botters, market botters, and courier mission botters continues. After repeated hammering, we've seen a substantial decrease in the number of courier mission botters. However, is always prepared for the fact that after a while, this activity will increase again, and we'll have to bring the hammer down. Overview of the action. And here there was a little bit of a discrepancy. I'm just not sure how it actually works out. But here's a few statistics since the turn of the year. So the last 18 days, 462 account bans for account hacking. Okay. Oh, okay.
That's the
never
thing
mind,
that
never
they
mind.
just
That's
mentioned before.
account hacking. Yes, account hacking is there. 637 accounts for the client hacking, modified clients, input broadcasting, all that. 462 account bans for account hacking.
That okay. So that's what Rain was saying.
1,951 account bans for botting related activities and 581 account bans for RMT related activities since the first of this year.
That's
That's
a lot.
quite
That's
a
a
bit.
lot. That's pretty significant. Yeah.
That's good. That's what we want, right? Kill the
Yeah.
boss.
We
Kill
can
'em.
talk about that. I mean, it's a long discussion.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's still a lot of people saying, like,
obviously.
You see tons of complaints still about people saying like they're not doing anything about the bots. I mean, like they're obviously
That's
banning
just
a lot
people
of them.
bitching. I mean, that's just random
all you're
bitching.
doing
And it's
complaining.
like, I'm sorry, nobody in good faith can look at the numbers and say, "Oh, CCP's not doing anything."
Well, I'm
they're
wondering,
okay with
like, so when they ban an account for botting, they're not banning like IPs, which I mean that could be gotten around with like what is it, VPNs.
VPN.
I mean,
that. I mean,
you can
the
get a
thing
VPN and
is,
get around that, but
as I understand it, I mean, almost all of the really hardcore botters that keep coming back over and over again are all tied to RMT. So as long as they're making real money from it, they're gonna do everything they can to get around the bans and just create new accounts. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's why they keep coming back, and you got to keep whacking the moles. But you know that it's just how it is. You know, you can't stop. But the fact that I mean, look, they're doing hundreds and hundreds of accounts on a weekly basis. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, the
That's-
thing is,
that's
like, they're
not,
having
you
to
know,
investigate
nobody
each
doing
one of
anything.
these too, because it's not like they can just be like, oh, 5 people reported it was a bot, probably a bot, and they have to look at every single one.
Probably bot.
Yeah, I mean,
Right? They have. I mean, they can't afford to not do an investigation.
yeah, 'cause, I mean,
Some sort of manpower goes.
the
into
last
that.
thing they want to do is ban an account and someone be like, no, that was actually me playing, and then them going in and actually looking at it in depth and be like, yeah, it actually was. So
Well, M1 in chat mentions they should ban the device, IP, and account at the same time, which makes sense if you're really thinking about it. But there's a lot of people who play from like internet cafes or like a library or people at university. Like I remember being at university and sometimes like I would be doing stuff like websites and it would just be like, oh, your IP is banned. I'm like, why is my IP banned? I literally am like just logging into this account or this or that. And so
Well,
like while it makes sense in theory, like for me sitting at home doing illegal things, it doesn't make sense if I'm at university using internet cafe or I just unplug my router and modem and.
well, the thing is, like, you can use a VPN to get around an IP ban.
That- yeah, that too.
And the thing is, like, I bet most people that are doing the bot things either have them already or know how to easily get one. And so I don't know if an IP ban would even really do anything for them.
I know, Nanok. She's saying university.
I went to a
When I was
university,
at
but I'm
university-
American.
Well, hold on. Yes, but we don't.
We don't call it.
We call it
university.
college, right?
Call it college.
It doesn't matter. It's the same.
Went to
shit.
college. Even if what you're at is a university
Yeah.
over here. But whatever.
I
I'm
can't
just
believe you
impressed-
people are arguing with Rain's word choice. Really?
Well, because we're
People
trying
like
to pay
to argue with me
attention to
about
chat.
anything, so.
You know, it's interesting. I would be curious if they can track repeated people that have been banned for like botting stuff, because that's a significant amount of accounts. 2,000 accounts just for this year.
Yeah.
Did they do a year-end summary for 2018? Like how many
Yeah, they
accounts
did.
were banned?
I mean, it was in the thousands. I mean, it was a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was year end or if it was.
It wasn't year-end. They did one.
It was
in,
the last 3. It was the last 3 months.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they've been,
Oh, okay.
one of the things we've been pushing them. At least I've mentioned this. I can't say that it's the CSM that did it, but you know, we've been pushing them. Be more transparent about the security stuff and tell us what's going on. That way, people know and they don't feel like every time they report a bot, it just goes into a shredder. So I'm happy with the level of transparency. It's good.
You know,
Yeah.
and I wonder
Now-
if something that Theodenko's saying about the accounts are just shell accounts. Look, the fact is that doesn't necessarily mean that they are just shell accounts. Obviously, all those bot accounts themselves are because they pass the money on somewhere. But you know, this is something where they can track where the money goes, right?
Right.
There's nothing better than this for being able to trace where the money goes, and therefore you can, you know, sort of follow that down the line, and that may be where some of these other ones came from, you know, related to RMT related activities or whatever, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying, oh, it should be easy to just track a bot, figure out the mechanics. Like you log in right after downtime, you play for 23 hours, like you instantly warp in a Newton system. But the thing is yeah, you can just ban the bot, but then you're not getting to the root of what that bot's doing, like which is that RMT. So them taking the IS that they make all day, sending it to someone else, having that be sent to a buyer in one way, shape, or form, and then usually once they reach that point, I'm assuming that's when they ban it, because not only then are they banning a bot, then they're banning a people RMTing, and they're teaching the lesson of,
Man.
hey, don't
Well, they're gonna-
RMT or don't buy.
CCP
this.
should set up
Hold
like
on.
like bait undercover sting operations for like RMT.
They
like
do.
set up
They
people
do
like
that.
hey,
They do.
They do?
They do.
Oh!
They absolutely do that.
They,
Yeah.
they go in like just oh man.
Well,
You
Look,
can amnesty
there were
if you-
I'm
there were a
so
couple things.
impressed.
There were a couple things in that team security thing that I think were important to highlight. The first was I was very happy to see that they're going after eBay and getting eBay to help them take the damn ISK sales and stuff online. Because I'll tell you, it drives me batshit. I go on there trying to find Eve-related stuff like
Like a sweater.
models or swag or shit like that, and all it is like, oh, here's a Titan for $200, or here's this, and it's like I don't want any of the illegal shit. I want to see just Eve-related stuff that I can get from other players, and I'm happy they're finally getting rid of that. The second thing that I think is most important is they talked about potentially limiting the types of things that alpha accounts can do to try to stop the bots. And I think one of the things they said specifically in there was level 4 and 5 distribution missions. And that makes the most sense to me, because if you're a botter and you want to get something that generates a pretty good amount of ISK with low effort and doesn't require a lot of skill injectors, distribution missions are the way to go. So them deciding, or at least looking into potentially getting rid of the ability of alphas to do that I think would make it a little bit harder for these
But
botters
is
to
that
just
a good
recreate their accounts.
Is that a good idea though, to like completely remove a functioning aspect of the game from legitimate people that
I don't
play
think
it?
they're gonna
just
remove
to
it. I
counter
think they're just
bots?
gonna make it restricted to Omegas.
Well, I know.
You
Well, that's
can
what I'm saying.
still
Like
run
they're
one
removing it
for,
from the alphas. Like the honest
Right.
players, they're like, yeah, that's what I do. I space truck for missions. Not.
Maybe you should learn how to space pew then and do level 4 security missions instead of distribution missions.
Yeah, but I mean,
They
Right.
could leave that open to Omegas because that's a little bit or alphas, excuse me. That's a little bit harder to bot.
Exactly. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's where you want to go. Or restrict
I
the
just
most
find
common
it-
types of ships for botting to Omega.
I
Make it a little
the way
harder.
I look at it is like I don't think that you should cut aspects or cut chunks of your game from actual players to counter bots. I think that because I don't know, it's like, oh, you're an alpha, well, you can fly all this stuff except for this one ship and that one ship that you can't fly this Tech 1 cruiser from Galente, but you can fly all these ones from Cal. I mean,
Well, the one thing that we have heard more than anything, at least I hear from players who are bitching about bots, is why don't they just tweak the ships or tweak the way that anomalies work or tweak this or tweak that to make it harder to bot? And the response I always give everybody is the last thing you want to do is make the game more shitty for people who are actually sitting there and doing the work. So, why make it harder for you to do what you want to do and make it more tedious? Now, I did see something on Reddit, and it's actually funny because I saw it on Reddit. Wally Martz put it up, and then me and some of my guys were talking about it the other day. What about if there was just like a CAPTCHA or some kind of a quick game that pops up every time you go to an anomaly that you have to like type something in on the screen
mini
to
games.
verify that you're sitting there?
Add mini
That would
games
be
to everything.
interesting.
Atlas
I think
did
that
it.
would be
drive
funny.
people mad.
Atlas
That would
did
totally make them mad. It would totally make them mad. But
It'd make me mad.
shut up about the botting. I mean, it's something to stop the botting.
Yeah, well,
You
I'm
know?
just saying, like Atlas did that. Like literally every equipment thing that you can use in that game requires a mini
Is
game.
Atlas still alive?
Like the music.
probably
the
not.
mu-
Oh,
you can
dang.
make a band and do the
Yeah,
music
it's got
too.
it's
so much fun.
got Rock Band in it.
Yeah.
With accordions and war drums. It's
to get
got-
water or the shovel.
even just
Also,
like the sextant, like the sextant to find the stars, you have to like trace out the stars and stuff like that for
So
navigation. But anyway, yeah, it's the mini games. So I don't know. I'm totally fine with them adding mini games to be able to do stuff.
Further to your eBay point there, Briss, they're also going after VK and Facebook groups. That are
That's good
selling,
too, yeah.
What's
stuff like that.
VK?
VK is Russian Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. That actually stood out to me when they had that in there. The fact that obviously they are trying to police the unpoliceable, but
Is,
maybe they've got it in there. I don't know.
does VK stand for vodka and Kalashnikovs by chance?
I'm not sure.
Damn. I was like, that'd be the best website if that's what it's called.
Noisy's point about potentially removing level 4 distribution missions from HiSec, I don't have a problem with that in theory, but as I understand it, tinkering at all with the mission system makes everybody at
Spaghetti
CCP kind
code.
of want to kill themselves because it's one of the really old legacy systems and
Like
they really
Pasco?
don't want to touch it. Because I had asked, because the HiSec guys have repeatedly asked me to ask, can we get new missions? Because the guys, I mean, you can only rescue the fucking damsel enough times before you want to put a gun in your head. But unfortunately, the way that they said it would take months to rewrite everything to try to add new missions because they're all hard coded in the game. So I don't know if we could take them out, but maybe limiting them is easier. I don't know. It's something I hope we'll talk about at the summit.
I mean, they could just not have to recode the missions, just go into like where the string of text is saved at, and just like change the text, and then just change the item you have to pick up instead of a damn.
I don't even know. I don't know how hard that would be.
I mean, it
that's-
would just be like recoloring something to fix something. It's just a nasty fix.
I remember, I'm pretty sure it's in the minutes, but I remember distinctly bringing that up and having a couple of the guys looking at each other like, no. It was pretty funny. So unfortunately, I don't think that's something that's going to change anytime soon.
well,
Did we talk about disabling skill extractors after a password change last week too? Or was that?
No, but that was something that was in the patch notes,
Huh,
right?
that's
Or
pretty
was
cool.
that new?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that's a neat
great. I'm
feature,
happy
though.
about that.
I don't want to forget tonight because I forgot last week, and I meant to ask you how your round table for the faction warfare stuff went, Brisk. But
It was
Vortex.
Wardeck stuff, and it was the pro Wardeck guys.
Wardex, yeah,
and,
not faction warfare. My bad.
You know, I think it went
The other war
pretty
thing.
well. I mean, it was basically what you would expect. The Wardeck guys feel like they've been nerfed over and over again for like the last 6 years, and they have. And I think what they're hoping for is that whatever the holistic change to all the Wardeck stuff is that it's not just going to be them getting nerfed again. So I think they were looking for the ability, you know, better locator agents, being able to catch people when they're online, the old watch list, trying to bring something similar to that back so they can see where people are, adding structures to the watch list or structures to the locator agent so that they can find somebody's assets in space, that type of stuff. Just stuff to make hunting a little easier for them, which I think, you know, if CCP can do it, why not? You know, they're going to be obviously making significant changes. It's going to change the way the game is played for these guys that have been doing these Wardecks for so long. Throw them a bone.
Did they think the watchlist changes were done for Wardex?
I don't think that. I don't. You know what? It's hard to
The
say.
answer to that is no.
It's
It
no.
was
I know
not
it's
done
not.
for them.
I know. Well, it
Okay.
wasn't. It was. It was.
It was for super hunting and Titan hunting.
Correct.
Where
It
you
was-
could play the game by being offline. And
Right,
it was
and that's
very
and
biased,
that's I
yes.
think that was the issue there, but I feel like they feel like that was whatever the impact directly to the guys that were hunting supers was, it really screwed them over, and they hate it. So one of the guys in the Wardeck project had like a graph of every change that screwed over the Wardeck people for like the last 6 years, and it was like 40 different things. So they're unhappy, and a lot of them have quit playing because they don't like the fact that their style has been nerfed
The
into the
people
ground.
who
But
would make new players quit from Wardex have stopped playing.
I know, right? I know.
Wow! I feel like
That's why the world's smallest violins. Exactly. I know. I know.
I just got a Windows Defender upgrade. Nice. I'm protected.
Oh, good.
Just call this number and enter your credit card.
There you go. So
I like the idea of the whole having the structure locator. I think that'd be really neat. May have it be like in the agency or something. So
right, you know, that'd be fun. Get at least
Yeah.
make it easier for war targets to find each other to go fight, because that was the biggest issue that I saw. It wasn't the Wardecks are not the problem. It's that the Wardecks are not regenerating any combat, which is what sucks. People are just logging off. If people are fighting, that's great. Like the test, I think I was looking at the war report for the test versus Horde high-sec war that's been going on over perimeter for like the last 2 or 3 months, and it's like 1 trillion ISK between the two of them blown up. That's awesome. That's what wars are supposed to be like. Not these, you know, pirate, you know, Wardeck 500 different people and they get 0 kills on each one of them, but they extract like you know, 100 million ISK from each of these guys to go away. Stuff like that. That's not fun.
You brought up pirate, and I don't know if I said this last week. So I did a stream the other day, and I was leaving from Amar, and there was a pirate guy in a Tristan, and I was in a Heron. And I was like, I think I did mention this, but I ended up 1v1ing him and killing him. And it was in high sec on the undock of the Amar station, and it was like probably the most entertaining like 1v1 I've had in the longest time because of the fact that it was a high sec corp, and they somehow war decked us and all this shit. So
See, that's cool that
So-
he didn't end up bringing 15 friends
So
or
that's
neutral
what
logic.
I was like, oh, he's gonna like undock all these neutral like like Logi to try and rep him because he's fighting another T1 frigate, and he didn't. He was actually really honorable. We brawled it out, and he ended up losing. And it was like, even if I had lost, the fact that he would have killed me solo was amazing. So it was actually really fun.
Bushido.
Yeah. I saw
Happens,
as much
but
as
it's
like I
rare.
love hating on high sec war deckers, like that moment I think has made like high sec war deckers like good in my eyes.
Well,
That one guy-
Structure locator would, I think, help solve the issue with them. Because then they can at least find somebody that's capable to be war decked and then go shoot their shit.
Exactly. You know, that's the thing. I do not want to see a high sec that's free from PvP. I think that's a bad idea, because a lot of the folks in high sec, in addition to the people that live there, which is like 70% of the game, you also have a lot of new players that are trying to get their feet wet, and I want them to feel the risk of being an Eve. You know, I want them to feel like I felt when I first started playing in 2006, where like I didn't undock for like the first month because I was afraid I was going to instantly die and I couldn't fight back yet.
Well, and so I understand that like if the locator agents for structures, that'll help. You know, if they have a target in mind, that'll help them find all their structures that they need to go find. But as far as like just if they're just like randomly looking for a target, they don't need to use a locator to be like, oh, let me find someone that has a structure. Can't they just fly through space and be like, there's a citadel. Let's war deck those guys. I mean, like they're everywhere, so you can just go system to system and just throw a dart at a board and be like, let's war deck those guys.
I think it's more along the lines of if they just blanket war deck people, they want to be able to find their stuff easier than having to search through. I mean, trying to find one structure or one group structures in high sec.
Well,
it's like trying to find a needle in a stack of needles.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you have a specific target in mind, it's great because then you're like, hey, we need to war deck these guys, and we got to find out where their stuff is. So that would be useful for that. But I thought that you guys were saying like that they need that system to find someone to war deck, and if they're just looking to war deck a random person,
it's not about. I don't think it's about finding corporations to war deck. I think it's about finding the assets of a corporation that they've already war decked, so that they can go camp that station or go try to find guys that are flying out of that place and go kill them. You know,
there are other war deck considerations to take as well. Like think about high sec mercenaries. So you get hired as a group to declare war against a certain group, but you can't find their citadels. What's the point? You're not going to get paid for anything if you don't find that structure and bash it, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, not all of them are as obvious as Code in Nyarja or anywhere else. You know, it's some of these guys you're going to have to go looking, especially if they got the stuff hidden. You know, right? Exactly. You got random shit in the middle of nowhere. You know, somebody drops a POS in a C2 and you're never going to find it.
Huh? That's interesting. Does locator agents work on people in wormholes? Oh, I guess it says they don't. They're not in known.
They're not right. Exactly.
Oh, really? Yeah. I would have thought that. I've never used a locator agent, but why doesn't it say like they're in J whatever? Because good luck trying to find a random J system.
How would an agent know?
How would an agent know?
Right, the agent's not going to know.
Jesus, Drayden, do you even play this game?
Well, I don't do the locator agent stuff. I mean, what? They don't have a guy sitting in every wormhole system.
Right, because
it's not like when you go to a
does
locator agent, they send somebody out and then he calls up, whoever that group is that like finds some wormholes.
Wingspan,
Wingspan,
hey,
yeah, the Thera guys.
Well, it's Eve Scout. Eve Scout like goes and rescues.
Eve Scout too.
No, I've never.
Wingspan delivers torpedoes. Eve Scout actually gets you.
Yeah.
Who's the snowball guy? Is Eve Scout the snowball guys?
No, that's
they
Eve
do
Scout's
fireworks.
the Hugs fleets. They just go run around.
Right, okay.
They rescue people, but
doth thou even locate? No, I don't. I've never located Avalon
maybe they have
ever.
a service that helps the Concord locator agents go out to wormholes, like census agents, and be like, "Hey, by the way, have you got how many people you got in this wormhole?"
Yeah, knocking on the door of a random.
And is one of them Manuel Rodriguez? Because we have a locator.
Seymour
out on
Butts.
Please tell us what your citizenship is.
Papers, please.
Well, I think if the NPC sends agents into wormholes, they end up being in drifter food. Anyways.
Basically, yeah.
Like, oh, what's this? Get tractor beamed up. Take me home.
Country roads.
West Virginia.
Oh, there you go. You started fucking rain on karaoke.
Okay, I'll do this one. I'm in. Count me in.
I'm in. And I'm doing it in the Brave shot glass because the colors on that one there were blue. So
I meant to bring like my Opacom shot glass over and I forgot, so I've got a Monterey Bay Aquarium shot glass.
Is that a shot glass or is that one of those like little beer taster kind of glasses?
That's a good question. This is definitely like a double shot glass because I poured that's a hefty shot in there and there's room for a whole other
it's like a hefty shot, yeah.
Yeah, this is. I think this is. It does look like one of those beer taster things. This is definitely like 2 full shots full.
Well, anyways, bitches for team security. Boom. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bands. We love bands. Fuck us, right? We do get happy about like that is something that we like to see, right? Players like to see people getting banned.
Yeah,
it's not just
for
us.
bad
We like
things.
to see
For bad things.
Well, obviously, we don't like to see people get banned for good things. That would,
I don't know. Some people are really cynical.
I found the thing that the guy showed me, the war deck thing, that has all the list of all the nerfs. I just linked it in.
How
the
are
chat.
you able to? Oh, you subscribed.
Yes, I can link things because I'm a subscriber.
You don't even need mod powers then.
I know, right? Well, I can't delete all the people harassing Rain, unfortunately.
I know, I was joking, but yeah, I'll have to.
That's interesting.
I thought he was gonna do that yesterday, but he probably forgot. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Give us power.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get you on there, Hyper and LB. Because I was like, you gotta get Rain and Brisk some mod powers. I'll be like, oh, and Hyper and LB.
Yeah, and the other.
And Thedinko. And Chisumi. And
Okay, first of all, Vortex have nothing to do with AWACSing, so why the fuck is that even in there?
I think that is a list of all the stuff that these guys think Eve that CCP has done to make Eve less of a harden the fuck up place and more of a like Hello Kitty Online.
I think
There's
it has to
some
do with
emergent gameplay called the Reverse Safari, where you would join a corp and then tackle their orca and hold it for ransom, or ask for director roles, give yourself a medal, and then steal the entire corporation and kick everyone out. There's all kinds of emergent gameplay that can happen from an AWACS, and being
Yeah,
able
but
to turn it off was
the friendly fire
I-
part
AWACS,
is, I think,
yes.
what they're talking about.
Right.
But
that's what
I mean
that's
in
what I'm saying.
relation to Vortex. So this one, yeah.
Well, the graph itself isn't necessarily in relation to Wardex. It's the
I
harden the
thought it
fuck
was,
up
okay.
index, right? It starts at 0, harden the fuck up, and it goes down to -13.
Right, and it's
Negative
all
13.
little things that they didn't like buffing the EHP on Exhumers and other stuff like that. Ventures getting internal warp stabs and stuff
They're
like that.
just so whiny. I'm sorry. It
I
just,
agree
that
with
graph
Rain
seems
on
very
this.
whiny.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that characterization because I think in some ways they do whine, but at the same time, have you heard the guys that are on the other side whining? I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like every week there's some, why did I get ganked? This is not fair. There should be no ganking in high sec type stuff.
So
And
yeah,
it's
that's
just like,
also
guys,
wrong too.
Come on, you
Yeah,
can't.
well, what
there
is this?
should be
They want
nowhere in Eve where
Concord
you are
response
completely
times
safe.
halved. It's already
No,
like
no, that-
instant.
That was a change. That
That was a change. They made it faster.
Oh, right, okay, right. But I'm just. Oh, okay. I thought this list was like what people were clamoring for. I was like, really? Concord's,
this is
like,
stuff that already
Concord's near
happened.
instant. Even in Bernjito, when there's like 200 people that they have to deal with, it still takes like 4 seconds to die.
Berngia. So much fun.
King Aries has a good point. Everybody whines about something. So there you go.
Yeah, I remember wormholers whining, and that was like a big debacle type thing.
They
That was
whine,
like 2 weeks
they whine
ago.
about local chat when you come into node space. It's like you don't like local chat, go to your wormhole. When you come in here, this is what you get. You get local. And people talk in it.
Yeah. And then hope if you don't see a test fleet, and then you can't read anything because it gets spammed too quickly.
Oh, I block. Whenever I have those big fleet brawls, what I do is click on someone's name,
Oh,
find their
yeah.
alliance, right?
I can't do it
block.
fast enough. It's like
Hyper, I will say,
Yeah.
it does make me laugh because there are times when I'm on the Karma Fleet Saturday Nights forum and I have to unblock people that I have blocked from something. And I was like, obviously this person was purging in the last fight we were in. I have to go fix this. I can't
that's
talk to
funny.
him.
I don't think
I re-
we should point fingers at who we think are whining out there, because I'm going to be honest. Literally, if you are a player of this game, you're a fucking whiner. Because
Oh,
at
we've
some
all
point or
whined.
another,
Dirk,
you're
you
going to
whine
do it.
as a non-player, okay?
Yeah, exactly, whiner.
I'm just saying, like if you're associated with this game, you whine, okay? And quite honestly, I don't think wormholers whine on the same relative basis certainly as nullsec. Nullsec whines way fucking more because they're just generally more vocal,
Right. Mackling, the question you asked about the -12 point, what that is there was a toggle that was added to corporations to allow a CEO to allow friendly fire or to ban friendly fire, and that was designed to stop AWACSing. So that's what that was.
Speaking of local,
After
Saturday.
our conversation last week
When
about
it doesn't
how,
happen.
about how it was so great that CCP came out and talked about are we moving into chat conversation here?
Yeah. let's-
Yeah.
About how CCP came out and they said, you know what, we totally recognize the fact that, chat's having some issues and we're going to try and work that shit out. But by the end of the month, God damn it, we're going to have that shit locked down, even if we have to revert back to 2003 chat.
And then it
And,
exploded.
and then literally like within I think 48 hours of their statement coming out or of our show or something like that, whatever, it was basically fuck chat, boom, completely gone. like it was just like non-existent, right?
And so
Yeah.
the conversation has been a lot around local chat, and I know I mentioned to Brisk, like, sometimes your entire chats just stop working. And so, like Dirk is saying, 2 days later, there was a big brawl over some iHubs and wherever the fuck region with, like, PanFam versus Test and Goons. And no joke, there were, like, 500 people in local, and suddenly all chat systems just stopped working.
Oh yeah, I mean, Hyper and I were out on Saturday Night's Forum, and it was like, okay, now how are we going to do this? Because nobody can find where we're supposed to go, and you can't
Yeah.
link anything.
Yeah, so, like,
And yeah,
yeah,
Oh, no.
Elo linked us, like, he's like, hey, we're, like, burn to this system, and we're like, what system? He's like, I linked it in Fleet Chat, we're like, we can't see it.
Yeah.
Like,
like
Well,
thank
local-
God
like,
broadcast still
Didn't work.
worked.
Like,
None of the
we had
players
jump
on
three
stage
jumps,
channels
and like
didn't work.
local was still at 500. Like
He-
us and Rep Squad,
All
like
the
or
Delve
Logi
Intel
channel.
channels didn't work. I'm told, like nothing fucking
Right.
worked.
I totally recognize the fact that chat channels are something that they can't have be broken, right? But can I take this in a different direction for just a moment and ask you the question? What would you think about some element of the game that
Like
basically did, in fact, I'm not talking about breaking local, I'm talking about broke communications to where, you know what, all of you freaking, we have F1 pushers out there, and then we've got the like people next to them that are like, F1 pushers plus I can't follow directions other than if somebody links something, or fleet warps or things like that. What if there was something that caused communications breakdown at that level to where people had to actually manually, I don't know, warp to a thing or
So what you're
pilot
saying,
their
they
ship
they
or
could probably
try
do that
and
something
follow-
something that
Orbit.
blocked fleet commands and fleet fleet broadcasts.
ECM burst.
Like the Raspberry.
No. It doesn't break your lock on stuff like ECM would. It
You've
just
been
makes it
jammed?
to where you cannot receive or
Strawberry.
send
Lone Star.
fleet broadcast or fleet commands. So that would basically be what Dirk was saying. I mean,
Oh, see now somebody.
Only one man would give me the
Are you
Raspberry.
talking about?
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to answer Kimmy Mansfred right here. Players that need accessibility could apply for it with the proper documentation.
documentation.
Oh,
Okay.
No, you don't
Because
need
I don't wanna-
you don't need
yeah, because I-
documentation for your disability. You just apply for it.
Yeah. The thing
Remember
though is
when
like everyone
Program
would
yelled
do
at that deaf
Because-
guy in the fleet and asked
because
why he
then-
didn't hear him?
Because
Yeah.
then literally everybody.
Remember that? That was
And
pretty good.
everyone that's
Fucking
not
deaf.
a streamer, like I mean, obviously none of us or Manic or Boat or any of the people that are obviously blatantly not deaf, like then they would know that, but everyone else.
What
would
about
be
the
like,
guy
"Yeah, I'm
from my other country in my fleet who doesn't understand English? How are we
I
gonna?
mean, I've only come across two
No,
deaf
but no. To be
All
fair,
right,
people in the
to,
game.
to,
I
a
know they're
certain,
there,
to a
but-
certain extent of what Dirk has said, what I had suggested we could do potentially was tie instantaneous local to an iHub upgrade that you could in Tosis to knock out or something like that. That would make it kind of cool where, instead of instant local, it was delayed by 5 minutes or delayed by a minute or 2 minutes or something like that. So you had to actually put an upgrade in, and that would make you decide, all right, is having instant intel more important than having higher ratting anomalies or shit like that? I think that would be interesting. But I don't think we could have something that completely shuts down like Fleet Chat or something like that. That would be
like a text chat jammer. That's
Yeah,
You're
I don't
all
think that would
lost.
work.
yeah, and like especially for
Well,
like
hold on a second. Hold on,
private
hold on.
channels.
No,
Because
this wasn't chat. This was
the re-
fleet broadcast.
The reason why I brought it up, okay, was because this is actually something, and I understand what we're talking about is a broken thing going on right now. But actually, years ago on this show, we talked about, this was during Dominion Sovereignty, about the things that, like, let's say an SBU could do, okay, that it could shut down the chats in that solar system, right? You could have a blackout mode on something like the old SBUs to where, it becomes more difficult to operate. Because it used to be that when you laid down SBUs, not everybody was threatened by that. Not everybody was, feeling, as though that was like a big fucking deal or whatever. And I remember the conversation coming up, just spitballing and things like that about, yeah, but what if it shut down communications in your system? How would you like to deal with that? How would you like to deal with no local? Right down to no fleet chat. That
How would you
when
like to
you
deal
were
with a
operating
riot?
under that kind of thing, So, that's the reason why I brought it up, because sometimes, like, some weird things happen, and then you sit there and go, yeah, but, Like, is that a feature or a bug, depending on how you look at it?
I'm like torn between both because I could see it be something really useful. Like if you think of like Griffins and Jams or something like that, or the SBU or whatever upgrade in a system to shut down local or to shut down broadcast or something, that sounds really neat in practice. But then if you think of like, I want to just say like all these other exceptions. So you have people with accessibility issues. You have people who are brand new to the game, so they're talking to someone and then suddenly the person can't respond and they think they're being ignored, or rookie chat, they can't access rookie chat because they just so happen to get into a system or a fight where they're jammed. Like I am always constantly talking to like my cousin who plays this game or my mother, and it's like if I'm in a fleet brawl, it's like, hey, I'm in a fleet brawl, I can't talk right now. But suddenly if it's like,
wait,
cut
Rain,
off
your
and-
mom plays Eve?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she has 10 billion ISK that Dirk gave her.
I want to play with Rain's mom.
Yep.
I'm trying to get her to
bet
join
you
the
do.
Fly Home
Yeah,
Brad.
you
I bet you do.
Somebody's gonna put that on a soundboard.
Yeah, I'll find it. LB, get on it.
But no, like there's, I feel
Hey,
like there's
Brisk,
so
look at my
many
balls over
exceptions.
here.
But yeah, I feel like there are so many exceptions to it that it just kind of creates like chaos more than just like, oh, remove local or oh, remove fleet broadcasts or something.
Well, I mean,
like
that's
that.
why I think you can't just. I mean, Dirk, I like your idea, but it's not going to work. But
No,
there's something we could do similar to that. I mean, like, let me think about it this way.
And
Imagine
I'm gonna-
that
and
you're
I'm gonna be
going into a
honest,
big fight and you want to clear out, you have to send
Test
in
poster.
the scouts early to Intosis all the iHubs to stop instantaneous local for when your fleet goes through so all the intel channels are gone. I mean, imagine that being something that Black Ops guys do on a routine basis. Uh-oh, they're hitting all of our iHubs right now. We should expect drops now or something like that. And then everybody gets all nervous. I mean, that would be cool. I think that would be a nice
Communication
something to change
streams.
to make it interesting.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Back at the time when we kind of had, that spit, when we used to do like crazy, like spitballing of like, stuff that, could be, right? That was not one of the considerations about accessibility and deaf players, or, again, the person that doesn't speak English in a fleet, right? How do you relay stuff that's not just translate? I mean, that didn't even come up at that time, mainly because that was like, I don't know, 2013, and literally nobody in Eve gave a fuck about any of that. But
Pando is making fun of me in the chat, and I need to explain myself.
did you
You jumped your
hold on.
Titan.
I
That
did
was
not.
almost as good
Here's
as your
look.
Titan bridge
This is
today.
what
You
happened.
jumped
This
your
is
Titan.
this is what happened. All right,
You
we were
weren't
in this
fueled.
snuff fight. We were in this snuff fight. All right. First of all, I was triple boxing. I had 2 Titans on the field and my fax. My armor Titan was fighting. My shield Titan was the bridge for the subcap fleet. Okay. I'm in the subcap fleet. I'm the only Titan in the subcap fleet. All the subs land on me. Pando's like, Brisk, bridge. So I bridged to the only thing that was available to me,
A beacon?
which happened to be a beacon that was behind, like, 5 systems away from where we were. Not the Sino that was supposed to be lit in the fleet, but was lit in the other fleet because somebody else fucked up. But that's my fault. So now they have nicknamed me Bridge Rubal, and that's my nickname, and they're making jokes about it all fucking day in the chat. I did not. That was not my fuck up. I swear.
Brisk,
That's
if
my
you ever
story,
wanna
I'm sticking
feel
to it.
Absolutely garbage at the game. Record yourself and then go back and watch, and then realize how much you fuck up everything that you're supposed to do, and it's super embarrassing. I do it. It's a struggle of a streamer. I made like my first YouTube video, and I like go back and watch. And I was like, oh my god, I was doing this all wrong.
I was
Super
so
embarrassing.
desperate to make sure that I didn't jump by accident that I was paying no attention to what I was bridging to. I just bridged.
Exactly.
Just do it. I did what Pando said.
Yeah.
Bridge,
You didn't
bridge.
read Beacon.
Yeah, we get be.
I wasn't even
Brisk
thinking about it.
review.
I just 6RCQ. Okay, yeah, go ahead, guys. You're not an EC. You're in 6RCQ. Go ahead. I don't know where the
Well,
fuck the
hold
subs are
on.
fighting.
And
They
that's
can't be fighting here.
And that's one of the problems being too close to, friendly territory, right? Where there may be beacons up there. It's not like it's just the only option you're going to get is a Sino.
Right. I mean, that was the thing. Like, if I had thought about it, I would have been like, all right, why am I? You're not jumping to a beacon, right? Your guys are going into a Sino. You said there was a Sino lit. I wasn't even thinking about it. So anyway, the guys got a tour of Cloud Ring or Cloud
What,
Ring. So that was funny.
You didn't jump your ass over there and bridge them,
No, I made him. I sat there and made him come fly back.
That
so-
might have. I mean, I don't know. It might have been better. It's like bridge us, and then you just jump 5 jumps behind, like just middle finger up in the air, like I'm out.
And this is how friendly.
Get your own
gets
fucking
supported
bridge,
and die.
guys. I'm out.
This is how friendlies don't get support and the battle goes wrong. Jeb
There you go.
Stewart didn't arrive at Gettysburg on time.
He was
We
running
have
around
this showing the
Chambersburg. He
S
went
tag.
left to leave blind. So yeah, that's my new nickname. I'm Bridger Bowl. So there you go.
That's funny.
I thought it was Ruse.
Do we need to change it in the intro?
We did Ruse. The Ruse Cruise was pretty fun. That was good. We could talk about that. if you
Why don't we skip over to that real quick, since that was apparently a thing this week.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny. I was like, what? And like, obviously, I was a bad Redditor and read from the top and didn't go straight for the TLDR. And I was like, man,
That's not
That's
bad.
really
You just have to
sad.
make sure to read the whole thing. That's all.
well,
Well,
yeah,
it was so the genesis of the whole thing is, all right. Granted, look, Pando and I were very heavy in Reddit during the HK thing, defending what we did and saying, hey, we were proud of it and we did a lot. And, our logistics guys deserve credit and this was historic and everything. The Wormhole guys spent their whole time poo-pooing it and downvoting us everything and acting like I was some kind of spurging idiot because I thought what we did was cool. And that's fine. That's fair. Okay. They didn't want to admit that the HK guys generally said good fight. All the other wormholers were like, you guys are fucking idiots. All you did is blob. Why are you taking credit for that? And I think the rest of Reddit kind of got sick and tired of seeing 1,000 posts
Yeah.
from
You
Init guys.
had a rough karma week on Reddit.
Yeah, but well, it's actually funny because I gained everything that I had lost back plus in terms of that on the Ruse Cruise. So, but one of the other jokes is Headliner has been like calling on me to resign every month, like every randomly enough thread. He'll just, you should just resign. So finally, he did it again in one of those threads, and I was talking to Sword Dragon, and I said, "Fuck this! You know what? I'm going to resign." And he's like, "What? You're going to do what?" I'm like, "No, trust me, this is going to be funny." So I wrote the whole thing out, and I was thinking, all right, what could I do? And it just happened that the day before, I had signed my kid up for Little League, and this year, for the first time in a while, I decided I'm not going to be a coach again because it was too much trouble. It's a pain in the ass. Some of the parents are okay. Some of the parents are very, very nice. Some of the parents I just look at and I'm like, why did you procreate? It's frustrating because it's like, they're just jerks to their kids. And it's like, I want to hit them. Like, just let the kids have fun, guy. Why are you bitching and acting like your kid's going to be a Hall of Famer?
I would imagine
just let them play.
I would imagine that
So
baseball parents and football parents are very similar to hockey parents in Canada.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was the thing. I thought the football parents were actually better than the baseball parents, which was surprising to me, given that the sports are a little more violent. But in any event, I said, you know what, this is going to be funny. I bet I can write this and make it sound like I'm going to quit CSM and then make it funny and say I'm not going to do Little League. So I wrote the whole thing out and I put it up. And it had the effect that I was hoping it was going to have because all the Wormhole guys were all like, oh, yes, finally, we're getting rid of Brisky. He's useless. He doesn't do anything. Fuck him. and anybody else thought it was just a funny Reddit post that got everybody thinking. And
Chris is not leaving the CSM yet. He hasn't gotten his CSM pension.
But
well, exactly right. I gotta wait till I get my
Golden
pension.
parachute.
If you were to resign from CSM,
I think it's a
who would take your
3-year.
spot? Who's next in the?
Well, that was funny because the next person in line would be TikTok, and TikTok put a comment in the thread saying, "Holy shit, you scared the crap out of me." And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I should have told you ahead of time so you didn't freak out. But I wish he was with us because TikTok's a great guy. We had a good time in Vegas. But it was just it was fun. And the best part is, like, Reddit is like a roller coaster. And you can follow it and you can be toxic and you can be mean and you can be a real dick to people on there. But you kind of have to be funny about it. If it's like legitimately salty or you're like overly serious, you're going to get mocked to no end. And the Reddit guy, the Wormhole guys had gotten Pando and I on being too serious. And that was completely legit because we were, and I freely admit it. But then they went over the top so hard at me and how awful I was in the CSM and how useless I am that they started looking like the salty assholes they were accusing us of being, and they all got destroyed. And it was just hilarious. So basically the moral of the story is, if you're playing this game, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. If you can't, you're going to get made fun of. And that's why the Ruse Cruise worked so well.
The roller coaster analogy is perfect because I hate roller coasters. I don't go on them. And I look at Reddit and I'm just like, no, not me.
Be a winner in life.
I'm the same way with Reddit and roller coasters. Is I look at them from a distance, but I don't actually ride it.
I'll read them if it's like, hey, read this, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, but if you're looking at Reddit, you are basically writing it.
No, I don't look at Reddit. I don't ever read Reddit.
No,
the only time I ever read Reddit is
I'm
if
talking
like you
about
guys link
that.
something in Skype.
But-
It's like read this. I'm like,
in order-
okay.
I was
In
talking
order
to the
to
person
ride-
that just said something like relative to what my comment
In order
was.
to ride Reddit, you have to participate in Reddit. Clicking up and down arrows is not really participating.
No,
in
that's
Reddit.
not.
I have to post something, and I don't post.
Oh, I don't read it.
But the
I don't even
the
read it.
bottom line
Yeah,
with
I wouldn't
Reddit
go
is
there.
if you want to
Master
go
Saki,
there
thanks
and
for
you
sub.
want to become if you want to get known for shit posting or you want to be famous on Reddit or whatever you want to call it, you have to be entertaining. If you're not entertaining, they're going to vote you down because nobody wants to read a bunch of people bitching about stupid shit. If you bitch about something that everybody agrees with, you'll be okay. If you just bitch all the time, you're going to get voted to oblivion because nobody wants to hear all that shit. And if you're just being on there saying, hey, we're the best all the time, which Pando and I learned to our detriment, we shouldn't have done that.
DJ
And it
Khaled.
shouldn't have done that. You're going to get voted down a lot. But if you're funny, then they're going to like you. And that's just how it is. So I just, that was, my mistake. And I should have known better because I've been doing this for 2 years.
They never
But it was
inhaled
fun.
Reddit.
I had a good time with that. That was fun.
That's a pretty good one.
That was kind of my point. It's like if you're reading it, you're riding the middle of the coaster. You're not.
I
posting,
consider-
you're not at the back end. You're not at the front end.
Yeah.
But like,
I would consider going to Reddit
I'm not
and
on
reading
the
it
ride. I'm
being
watching
part of the
ride.
Reddit thing. You
I'm
don't have to be
on the
posting.
ground with my turkey leg, and I'm watching the fucking ride go around.
with my
and that's it.
Turkey leg.
King Aries has got a good point. Jester Trek is one of those few guys who can be serious all the time and still doesn't get completely destroyed. But you also have to keep in mind, Jester got put through the ringer, like massively put through the ringer when he was on CSM, constantly shit on for the Erotica 1 stuff and a bunch of other crap. So Jester's had his time to get crapped on. It's just not now because he's like an elder statesman and everybody listens to what he says, even though I don't always agree with the way he characterizes some stuff. So sometimes you can get away with it. But for the most part, unless you're like Sutonia, who everybody will upvote because he's always being helpful and nice and we like it and he's great, you got to be entertaining or else they're going to throw Rotten Tomatoes at your face.
And he does. Pando says it. He talks dumb shit here and there, just like everyone else. He absolutely does. The thing is about Jester is that he's well worded. Like he can actually write. So you may disagree with what he's saying, but he's not a shit poster and he's not a garbage writer.
But even then, I thought it was Reddit encapsulated completely was Jintan put up this unofficial best of our Eve 2018, and the guy that got the most votes for worst poster was Stain Guy, and the guy that got the most votes for best poster was also Stain Guy. That's Reddit.
That's
They will hate you and love you at the same time in equal measure if you're entertaining, and Stain Guy's always entertaining.
While we're talking,
Someday we'll get him his
While we're talking about
lower.
Reddit.
No, it's my older brother, Ghost.
While we're talking
Ghost was
about
his
Reddit,
Eve name. He hasn't played Eve in like 4 years.
Ghost.
This best of
Dude, that
Reddit-
bottom, he looks exactly like you, by the way.
Okay.
That's really freaky.
Well, we're brothers, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like twins.
Might have
we're gonna do a shot. He's got a light bulb
it's
shot
that
glass.
whole
Like
thing.
it's
Heck yeah.
it's
That's pretty hot.
Stick it in your ass.
It says
Got lit. I
Ray
like
said
that.
stick it in your ass.
I got lit.
No, don't do it. No, we can't have this on
Bitches.
Twitch. Okay. A shot.
Alright, shots to
Shots.
Bitches.
To Reddit.
Shots to bitches,
Shots.
I guess.
But while we're on Reddit, that best of Reddit Eve thing, did that come about because of what's his face's fucking tweets and like shit from goons?
Naz Al Ghul.
Naz?
Yeah.
No.
I don't
Who
think
is
so.
a
I mean, look,
national treasure, by the way.
he's awesome. I love Naz. I voted Naz as my favorite poster. I like Stain Guy, but Naz is probably my favorite. I think
Do you like Stain
They
God?
have-
Or do you hate Stain God? Or
I love
both?
Stain
I
Guy.
mean, like-
Stain Guy's a man. I threw him up. I put in my campaign statements to get a low sec 8 to Stain just for him. I think that they've done that every year, and Gibberish, who was one of the mods, said that they were going to try to do a this year, just didn't get around to it because they wanted to do something big, and it ended up not panning out because everybody got distracted. So Jin just put his unofficial thing up, and it lasted long enough that they didn't want to delete it. So that's basically what happened. But yeah, so there you go.
There's some good gems in there though.
For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of
Best-
some of the
best new
propaganda,
guys
like I mean the videos, some of these videos this year, the Sphere.exe video. I keep laughing at that because it's just so good.
That was
It so
pretty
freaking
solid.
fun.
I was almost convinced by that. I was like, wait, did we really do this? And they made a video? No. And then I started reading some it took reading the comments on the YouTube thing and seeing some of the other Black Legion guys being so serious. I was like, it can't be true. Like, the only time Black Legion agrees in unison like this is when it's a troll. So it can't be real.
Are we still talking about the Black Legion disbanding joke?
No.
Well, somebody asked
the
about that.
Spirit.exe like hacking video that they made about the.
Oh, Lowput? That was Lowput. That was so good.
It's so I linked it in chat. It's so freaking good.
Yeah,
So,
it's,
yeah. There's best new bro story as Jared Dale's hauling service.
It didn't link very well, Brisk.
See, the thing is, does it
Like,
not like
but
right?
I think the dash is right next to the HTTP, so it didn't make the link right. There you go.
There we go. We'll try it again.
All right, so those of you who are actually on the show, who have access to the show notes and whatnot, look, when we've gone through a topic that, like, you know, is in there, like, you know, cross a line through it, just so, like,
So we don't
in
keep
the
it
next
back
few
to it.
minutes when we're no longer coherent enough to know what the fuck we're reading in there.
We just double dip sometimes. I mean, I'm sure that's happened.
Yeah,
No,
we'll just revisit the
I'm
topic.
not
It's
saying
not
it
a big
doesn't
deal.
happen, but you know what we should bring up at this point, because like before it just like you know gets too crazy towards the freaking end and whatnot. CCP released the dates of this year's World Collateral Damage Tour, and now most of the dates as of right now are just the dates of when it's happening and the venue that it's happening at.
Venue is the key piece.
It is the key piece unless it's not also kind of like at a hotel or something, you know, along those lines, right? You know, so you might have to do a little digging if what you're looking for is a hotel in the area and shit like that. They don't have all the details out yet, but what they do have are the dates, and the dates allow you to then at least book a flight if you want to do that first. And then they've got other dates where it will be coming out when the tickets go on sale, which might also include some other information. I do want to announce that Rain and Brisk and I, and there might be some other people, will be going to definitely to Toronto to the Eve North in June.
As will I.
Drayden, well, you know
be-
what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, obviously.
I
I'm
totally
So
Take
Open
it
Comms
down.
is going, and I'm
So
going to stay home.
Canadian guys are gonna come to fucking Toronto.
But Canada
Well,
is
Canada's
fucking
huge. That's like saying American guys
Oh,
go to
come
New
on,
York.
stop
It's
it.
like, what are you talking about? Canada's bigger than
biggest
well.
countries in the world. Russia,
Is Canada-
China, Canada.
Yeah, I was gonna say Canada's bigger than the U.S., isn't it? Even including
It's
Alaska.
fucking massive.
All right, so I will
Now,
go
no
through
one
because
lives-
we didn't actually talk about this, so I'll go through the dates. Amsterdam is March 23rd to the 24th. St. Petersburg, they're going to do a Russia one on May 4th. Sydney, Eve Down Under is May 23rd to the 26th. Sorry, Australians, I know you guys hate Sydney. Toronto is June 24th, 23rd. That's where we're all going to be for Eve North. G Fleet, Berlin is September 13th to the 14th. Vegas is at the end of October, October 25th, 27th, as usual. And then the Eve NT London event is going to be November 23rd.
And I think it's
So-
worth, it's like, especially,
you go.
so like if you think of like Western Hemisphere meetups with Toronto. So like I know I'm going to Toronto, and then Drayden and I are going on the cruise. And then there's Vegas, actually at the Flamingo, which they've announced. And Toronto is actually in a really, really good location. So it's right next to Union Station, which, according to my Canadian friend who lives in Toronto, she's like, Union Station is the hub for everything. So if it's like trains, buses, etc.
And that's the best thing. All the good hotels are right around
Yes.
where the venue is.
But
right
if you
there,
can't
but if you
afford
don't-
a hotel, if you can't afford a hotel down
Yep.
there, you can stay outside of town and take the train in, and you're right there at the venue.
Yes. Or
Or you can
there's
sit
also
outside
Airbnb.
the train station, suck a dick. No, okay. No,
You can all hang out at the Ritz
Well, I
Carlton
mean-
with me.
It's not
Close
it's
to
not
the
really
venue.
cool because it's a transportation hub, although that adds something to it as well. But there's also a lot down there. So if by chance you're bringing family members or something along those lines, okay, the aquarium is down there. You're within walking distance to the Hockey Hall of Fame. The ballpark is down there. The where they play some other
Hockey.
fucking sport.
Curling.
Curling?
You know, is up there at at another one. There's a bunch of stuff actually down in this area. You're a block and a half from a Chipotle.
If you don't like
Just saying.
poutine or
It's
whatever,
Canadian
Tim
Chipotle,
Hortons.
though.
If you
Is Tim
want to,
Hortons
you know,
nearby?
It's
get
Chipotle.
sick, go ahead.
Also, it should be noted that, so we
Qdoba.
mentioned this like 100 times, but Eve Toronto, the meetup is the same weekend as Pride weekend. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to drive to Toronto, or oh, I'll just Uber to the venue, you will not be able to. Downtown is going to be blocked off because they're going to have a massive parade at some point during that weekend. There's going to be a lot of rainbows, a lot of people dressed up, and a lot of sexual shit. So you
What
better
do you
be
mean? What do
prepared.
you mean dressed up? Like
They'll do cosplay, or they'll put on like fancy uniforms,
cosplay?
wigs.
Is that? I've never heard
Think
anything
of the
dressed
I
pro-
up.
was in New
Shut up,
York
Drayden.
City for
Shut up,
Pride
Drayden.
Week.
Shut up,
I was in
Drayden.
New York City for Pride Week. They had people dressed as Sailor Moon and
I
all
know,
this other
but, like,
wild shit, and I was super excited.
Is that considered?
I had to
cosplay
cut
in
through
that
the.
manner?
I had to
Cosplay.
cut through.
Cosplaying as a specific character is cosplay. If you're just gonna
I-
dress up like a zombie, that's like, I don't know, Halloween.
I
or
cut
Eve-
through the
Eve
Vegas
Ironworth.
Gay Pride Parade to get to the Goon meetup with Hyper. Were you?
Yeah.
Were you there? Were you at that one, Hyper?
And you were cosplaying.
I
as a
didn't go
Republican,
through
weren't
the Pride weekend, but I was at
You
there.
got lucky
Yeah.
because I had to go over there and do that.
Eve Ironwolf knows who hosted the best fucking Eve Vegas Pride pool party.
Yeah. The man, Cloud9
But-
sneaky.
But
You should go there.
yeah. So, anyways, I am gonna do a shot because yes, I am fucking going to that. And man,
Wait, Dirk, you haven't announced the best part of this.
No, what? I know because you didn't let me get through the fucking sentence.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and in fact, I've got to get up really early tomorrow morning to get down and because McGurk Jr. is fucking coming this
Oh
year.
yeah.
McGurk Jr. is actually telling friends how she's going to an Eve party in Toronto. And they're like, a what? And she's like, oh, it's this video game.
That's fantastic.
Dirk, she's gonna hang out with me and all the other Eve girls. We already have a channel set up to do karaoke and a dinner. She's gonna hang with us. Her and Kate are hanging with us.
What I will also say, and absolutely, I'm doing a fucking shot to the fact that she's coming because obviously she's still a couple years away from being able to go to something like Vegas. So it was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm 7 hours drive. We're actually going to drive up. We're going to come back by way of Niagara Falls and do kind of a thing there. But yeah, so I'm doing a shot for that. And what the fuck? I had another thought in my brain. Fuck it, I lost it. Whatever, gone.
Shots.
Bitches.
McGurk Jr.
It's gonna be totally fucking interesting. I got to be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking interesting. Plus, as of right now, I'm fucking. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Look, where the event is happening up there at Toronto, it's a Marriott hotel. For those, or it's a Marriott owned hotel. So for those of you who are like really big into Marriott miles or shit like that, guess what?
Use your points.
I think I
Use my points finally.
I think I rolled out like 140,000 points for 4 nights. It's like 35,000 points a night. It's literally like what would be a class 4 down here or some shit, like whatever. Now, around there is a Residence Inn if you would like to get something like that. There is also a St. Regis within walking distance. There is also what was the other one, Brisk, that I said?
The Ritz Carlton's
other
right there too.
The Ritz Carlton is right there. There is also the.
That's probably what I will do because I like the Ritz.
one that I used to go to on business. Shit, and I'm gonna forget the fucking name of it. Down on the fucking waterfront or whatever. That was a little pricey for the fucking room you got. I gotta be honest, still the same fucking hotel that it was back in the day. But whatever. If you're a Marriott card member, yeah, there's like a bunch of fucking different options right down there in the area. So yeah, there's all that. And I am totally within walking distance to the fucking Irish Embassy, which has the best fucking barbecue bison meatballs in all of fucking Canada. Which might not be saying anything, but whatever. It's really fucking good.
Barbecue bison. I had
Barbecue
a bison
bison, baby.
burger one time. Or bison, or maybe it was a buffalo, but it's interesting. Wasn't super great, but wasn't bad.
Fucking, hold on. How the fuck did LB get timed the fuck out? What happened, bro?
He tried to
I
post a
was trying
link,
to
and he's
link
not a
the-
mod.
I was trying to link the hotel
Oh.
in Toronto.
Hold on, let me do it again.
Don't fucking worry about it.
You're permitted.
What's really cool, and I will say this is that number one, the exchange rate is pretty fucking good right now between U.S. and Canada. If you're an American,
It's
that's
so
like
good.
It's
listen,
really
yeah.
nice. It's
Well,
Yeah,
I think
really
it's like
nice.
a buck
it's
fifty
like-
to
it's
a dollar. $1.50 Canadian to a U.S. dollar.
Is it down that far?
Wait, hold on. Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
a buck
That's
50 or is it
really
75
good.
cents?
No, it's like a Canadian dollar. $1.50
I thought a
Canadian is like
dollar
a dollar
was worth
U.S.
I thought a Canadian dollar was worth 75 cents. Did I read that wrong?
No, it's the opposite.
Oh, it's the opposite.
It's
It went
the
other way.
opposite.
That's right. Yeah, right. Yeah, $1.50. Okay, but whatever. We're like 2 blocks, I think it is, from Wellington Street, which is like the main fucking drag, and there's all kinds of restaurants and
75
shit like
cents.
that to do.
That's actually
Yeah.
it's a $1.33.
It's
Sorry.
I
asked
just looked up the
Alexa, she told
conversion
me.
thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe the difference was different, but it was saying 75 cents US to a Canadian dollar.
Yeah. Buck Strider. Bison burgers aren't great because the meat is so lean. Nobody gives a shit because you know what? Barbecue sauce on it.
Yeah,
These are really fucking good.
You
And
just
it's
grind
actually
some
just a
bacon
really
up
cool
with it.
fucking pub to hang out. But like, there's a bunch of stuff down there. You're like 2 blocks from like a block and a half, I think, from the waterfront, the lake down there. There's a park
Yeah.
down there and shit
It's
like that.
really, really
The
beautiful.
aquarium, like I said, is is right nearby. There's a bunch of shit. It's like.
There's
And
no
Toronto
shortage
is a
of anything
really
you
nice.
do.
The tower, which every like genuine Canadian city has.
CN Tower.
The
is that
CN
what it-
Tower.
Yeah.
There it's called the CN Tower or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. It's like so it's like seriously consider bringing family members because and while it hasn't been announced yet out there because they don't have the details for any of these things yet. The plan is because I definitely fucking checked on this about what was going to be be going on besides the fact that it's fan fest all these places, right? Friday night they are planning on having something like a pub crawl. Saturday night they are planning on having a big party type of thing. Locations and all that kind of shit still are unknown, but they are definitely planning those things. Friday and Saturday night you're definitely going to want to be fucking want to be there.
I thought it was kind of cute 5 seconds ago when Hyper Viper got up and his dog stayed on cam for a while. That was pretty cool. I
We
like
invited
that.
him on the show.
My dog was trying to take over the camera.
It was good. I like that.
Are we going to try and do an open comms from Toronto?
We
Yes.
are not. Are we?
Okay. I don't know.
He's like,
We're gonna do something. We
What
gotta do
night?
something.
I mean, what night would that be? Because again,
Be a Friday
Vegas
night.
There'll be a
will do the
Friday
show
night,
on Thursday
or-
night. Hold on,
So
Vegas will
here's
do
the
the show
thing.
on Thursday night.
No,
Friday
no,
night
no.
up
Think
there
about
will
it.
be a party.
Drayden,
Yeah.
Drayden will be home. Hyper, we don't know. LB is gonna be there. So the rest of us are gonna be there. So what we do is Drayden just runs the show and he just Skypes us in. He's like, "Fuck yeah, get on camera, you
Skype,
fucking
Zoom.
losers."
Skype is shit.
Whatever.
Yeah, really.
You're
These are
muted,
minor
Rain.
technical details.
Rain's
Yeah,
Rain,
I'm
you're
probably
muted.
gonna make it Toronto.
And it wasn't my
this
fault. I
Oh,
didn't.
fuck.
There you go. Okay, what were you
Yeah,
saying?
well, no. You just like Skype us in or like we'll video call you, whatever the fuck it is.
We'll figure something out.
I mean,
We'll
yeah.
FaceTime you drunk from the fucking pub crawl.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
Drayden, we're gonna do something on the cruise to get it to open comms as well.
Well,
we got to
you
do
can-
a live show if it's Friday night.
We
What,
can.
get a Somali pirate to
Oh
like,
yeah, that's the
broadcast?
other thing. It's like
Yeah.
drunk Canadian's not here, and maybe you guys could get Matterall to do it or something. Because I was like, if I'm not here during the cruise, someone's gonna have to run the show, like host it. So.
We'll get McLeod to do it. He
I'll
can
get
do
fucking
it.
McLeod.
Oh, McLeod, yeah,
If
McLeod
I'm
could
not
do it.
retired,
Matterall,
that you guys are doing that.
yeah, one of those two. Someone will be able to.
Bitches.
When is the cruise?
The weekend
it is-
after
What, like the
for a
weekend
week.
June
before or
June
after?
3rd. The cruise is June 30th to like July 6th or 7th or something like that.
Yep.
So we're gonna have
I'm
4th
looking
of
at
July
cruise
on the
now.
boat. That's
That
gonna
Hell
be
looks
yeah.
like fun.
yeah. So yeah, we'll because you can get a Wi-Fi package for your room.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
They're
It'll be
expensive.
garbage. It's expensive
Well,
and it's garbage.
there's the Garbo one, and then there's a really expensive, and you could probably do it for like a day, but it'll probably be like $200 for like 10 megabits. So
Holy shit! Did you guys
For a
notice
day?
this? Did you guys notice this on this world tour ticket sales starting thing? That the picture with guard on it, like fucking Bobmon right there in the middle of the thing. Where the fuck is? Never mind.
Old picture, dirt.
I'm saying
That
this
was from
picture's old.
Amsterdam, right? And old Eve
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Oh, was it?
Bobmon
Oh,
was supposed to be
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
oh,
He's Amsterdamish.
speaking of meets. There's a
Bitches.
Me?
coming up
I'm
in
hungry.
what is it? February 23rd. So it's a little over a month from now, but there's going to be a Portland meetup. I'm thinking I'm actually going to go to that. So if anyone's in the Northwest and you're close enough to drive to Portland, February 23rd, it's going to be at the Bridgeport Brewing. It's just a Saturday night. It's just a one night thing. I'm going to probably leave early Saturday morning, drive out there, get there like Saturday afternoon, drink a bunch of drink a bunch, stay the night, and then drive back in the morning. Like, because I have to work the next Monday. So
There's also a meetup in Des Moines next weekend, Saturday the 26th. So if the Midwest is not experiencing a winter storm warning or whatever the fuck's happening right now.
Because you know in January you should totally go to fucking Des Moines.
There's a lot of us in here, okay?
I know there's a lot of you in there.
there's actually a
I know some
surprising
you
number
have
of
chains
players
on
from
your
Iowa.
wrist.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's like half the state plays the game.
Yeah.
Also,
all 10 of them.
there's also a meetup in Ottawa on the 27th at Churchill's Pub.
Where?
Ottawa,
Say it again.
27th, Churchill's Pub.
Ottawa.
Ottawa?
Yeah.
You don't
Ottawa.
know?
Ottawa.
I thought it was
Capital-
Ottaway.
The capital city of Canada.
No, I'm kidding.
Ottawa.
I didn't.
What are you talking
Toronto's
about,
the
eh?
capital.
Sorry.
Hey, sorry.
No, Toronto's the
capital-
biggest city.
capital
Ottawa's
city
the
of Canada
capital.
is like the capital
Is-
city of any state in the United
Ottawa.
States. Nobody
Yeah.
knows what it is.
That's right.
It's
Isn't
a
their
la-
hockey
it's a
team the
lazy
Ottawa
city.
Capitals?
No, it's
No,
not the
it's the
main.
Ottawa
It's not the main city.
Senators.
Senators.
It's not a prime.
We're the
city.
Capitals.
They're a
You
good
guys
team.
don't have senators.
We're a good
Senators
team.
are American.
Oh, okay. The other capital.
We have the Capitals. We are the reigning Stanley Cup champions.
I believe
Thank you
that
very
as
much.
of right now, I think the only tickets that are on sale are for Eve Down Under. For those of you who are looking to, like, you
Amsterdam.
know,
Amsterdam and
are they?
Canada.
Are they as well?
Well, Amsterdam's in March, so that's like less than like 2 months away at this point. So yeah,
see here,
so
hold on.
Amsterdam tickets are on sale.
Yes,
Kinda-
they are
it's-
out.
It's kind of weird, but and by the way, for those of you who are listening right now, which the only thing you should fucking care about right now is Toronto. Tickets go on sale the 22nd. That's 4 days from today. 4 days from right now, which is really like 3 days and 2 hours. So like whatever. But yeah, so let's see here. Blah 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 blah.
The only thing I thought was odd is for the Eve NT in London.
January 31st. January 31st tickets go on sale for Sydney.
Avalon's right, guys. Look at the map for the tickets on sale thing. There are little thrashers on every one of them, but the one on Australia is upside down. That's awesome.
Oh, that's so cute.
I like that.
Well played.
Well played.
Look, and I'm not going to fucking lie, okay? I'm going to be honest. I am literally, and for the person out there that said you're going to get a fucking picture with me at Vegas this year, you're literally fucking not. I swear to motherfucking God, I'm not going to Vegas this year. I had no
What?
plans.
You got it, Dirk. You fucking loser.
I'm just not. I'm
Dirk,
just
you're
not.
such a
I
fucking
can't-
liar.
I'm not
just
going to
not.
Vegas
I'm just
either.
not.
Just shut the
Dirk,
fuck
you
up.
gotta pet a flamingo. We're gonna pet a flamingo.
Look. The flamingo is like
Dirk,
way better than the link and all that kind of shit.
We
You know,
are totally going to
just listen to me. for
peer
a second.
pressure your ass into going.
Yeah,
Don't even start.
yeah, you might be able to try that, but the fact of the matter is that like the end of the year, luckily I've got like shit that's going on, which like wouldn't allow me to do that in October anyways. But like I was like totally willing to write off this entire fucking year, and then when they picked Toronto, I sat there and said, no, fuck that shit. I'll just like totally roll the hell up there. Me and the Durango will like be there, okay? But like I am totally not doing Vegas this year. It's just not happening. I'm going to save that for a special, mainly because this year, the entire idea of FanFest is being split over multiple locations. I'll wait until next year when Vegas goes back to being the Vegas that it should be. That being said, this is not about me. This is about the fact that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to take that picture with you unless you come to Toronto. But if you come to Toronto, I swear to fucking God, we will find places in Toronto to literally party exactly like we do in Vegas. Because I
Yeah,
do
I'm already
not.
looking it up.
No, you're
I'm
not.
already looking it up.
Dude.
Because I do not go to video game conventions to party like a bitch.
Dirk, you are not going to find a cabana by the pool in frickin' Canada.
I
in
bet there's
June.
one.
It's
Don't
not
make me
going to
find
happen.
An indoor cabana.
You
Don't
can-
make me find an indoor cabana.
Well,
Good
they
luck.
don't.
Go ahead,
They don't make
try
them
it.
Which I'm
around
not gonna
a.
do, but,
Have
I'll
fun.
just be in
They don't make them around like a hockey rink. You can get like a. Do they have things like that?
The
Elton?
press box.
Just melted down.
Yeah, the press box. There you go.
That's a great idea.
Or a
Avalon,
penalty
I'm going
box?
to bring
Oh
a
my
blow-up Dirk doll
No.
to Vegas
Can
and
you
charge
slim
people
it-
and take
Can
pictures
Can you
with
slim
it.
it down a little?
Uh,
Yeah.
Brisk, we'll have to run the cabana this year, and then we'll just have the Brisk cut out
Give me
at the
abs.
cabana.
There you go.
Abs
We'll have a
are
Dirk cutout just for.
Yeah, okay,
for-
cut. I was like, blow-up dolls, or are we good?
And then Goonies.
Cutouts.
Well, we'll
Because
get a
that's
blow-up
very
doll and just
different.
put Dirk's face on it.
Set up a soundboard with it too. Set up a soundboard with it too, so it's interactive.
We'll just have the blow-up
Don't
doll
set up a
throw drinks at
soundboard.
people every once in a while. It'll be fun.
That being said, I do want to completely fucking represent props for moving over to the Flamingo. Like, if you only had like
Hey, you know what?
10 steps you could move.
Isn't that
within
nice?
within the Caesars kind of thing. If you weren't willing to go back to Planet Hollywood, if you weren't, Flamingo, having gone to dinner over at the Flamingo and walked through the Flamingo, completely fucking annihilated
like
and all
it.
that kind of shit. I'm not sure what the central point is over there. I know that there's a bunch of things like stairs and like
So
like
Floors.
It's
Floors
not as
and
bad as the
some
link.
walls.
Okay,
No,
that
no,
being
no,
said,
no. So
I
I've
don't, hold on.
had people.
I don't know what
no,
the
I've had people do
central bar
recon.
is there.
So we've had some of the girl Discord has been doing recon, and they said like there's like multiple bars throughout, but a lot of the ones that are really central don't have a lot of space. Like if you're thinking like 35 or the Heart Bar where you had a shit ton of space, a shit ton of seating, everyone hanging out, it didn't seem like Flamingo had something
No.
similar.
Well,
I
even
didn't see that
35,
either.
35, after they removed those like nice lounging spots and stuck
Yeah.
stupid tables, like there wasn't really much.
But
that
there
could
was
hold
still
there.
like it was still open enough that there was a lot of standing space. There was like standing space
But
for
whatever,
counters.
but
So
whatever. Better accommodations for those of you who think that accommodations are paramount to
well, King Aries.
Standing.
Like we
See,
go
no,
for any
I
other
don't think
reason.
that matters. I mean, look, the amount of time you spend in your room is minimal. You're going there to sleep.
Yeah.
The problem was that the way the link is set up, you're going to walk across hell and half of Georgia to get to your room. And at least with the Flamingo, it's a little easier. It's just square and it's right on the strip.
I thought half
and
of
it's easy to
Georgia
get
was
to.
Hill.
King Aries is saying the central bar is right by the atrium and street access, but Rain is right. It's crowded and lots of traffic.
Oh yeah, if it's right on the street access, it's gonna be
Like honestly,
Yeah, it's right off. It's right off the strip, so it's not like
my familiarity with the Flamingo was basically the first time coming back from the Saturday night party over at Dre's,
Dre's.
walking through some stuff, getting into the Flamingo, somehow finding my way through, going, oh shit, there's a fucking bathroom, let me go. Wife like escorting me down and sitting there going, look, there's signs for the link over here. And we're like wandering through what is basically just a big giant fucking casino floor. And then being comatose on Monday morning after whatever the fuck it was that happened Sunday night, and being like, hey, why don't we go for a fucking steak dinner over at the Flamingo? And me being like, I can't finish this because I just want to go be sick.
yeah. The well, and the link had such horrible cell service. I remember trying to
It
call.
was really
Uber.
bad. Although I
Planet
It
Hollywood
is
had bad
literally
service
the
too.
blackout zone of all of Vegas.
Yeah.
like Planet.
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty
the
bad.
weird thing for me is that it was almost opposite. Like my internet signal at the link wasn't that bad. It was way better than most other people, which is weird because I had Verizon. A lot of other people had Verizon. They're like, I don't have any bars. I'm like, I got like 3 bars and 4G, like slow 4G, but it's there. But
The one thing I will say that I did like about the link was when I checked in, they immediately asked me if I wanted an upgrade for like $40 extra, and I said yes. So that was nice. I got a suite, and I didn't have to try to
suite?
finagle it. It was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it, whatever. Just give me a better room.
Yeah,
No,
That was
it's-
it.
and I just saw something out there about how it's like staying at other places and shit like that. Back with the whole link thing. I'm sorry. Look, I don't give a fuck if they had the Motel 6 hotel and casino. Okay, like out in Vegas, I will stay at the place that they have it, just like I will do out at Toronto or whatever else, because I know that you can't just have a high-end joint being your place. We have a mixed crowd in EVE Online, and I will stay where the people are staying, period. Whether I could stay someplace else doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to stay where the fucking people stay.
I'm the
because
same.
that's where the cool, fun shit happens.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like I would rather spend a little bit more for a crappier room if it's where everyone else is, then get a nicer place for cheaper that's like,
And I don't
10
wanna-
blocks
and
down
I-
the
I
road.
mean,
and
it's
don't
like I
wanna
said,
think
unless
that- and I don't
unless
wanna
you're partying
think
in
that
your
they've gotta
room, which
stay
none of us
someplace else.
did, unless you're doing like a hospitality suite or partying in your room, which nobody did this time. You know, everybody I saw went somewhere else. Like Test had their house outside of town, and everybody else had their own things, but there was no like hospitality suite kind of things that I recall. Do you guys remember any of that?
No, I don't
So if you
remember
don't-
much either.
Yeah, so I mean, right? You know, we can't remember. But I mean, I don't remember doing that. So who cares what the rooms are? As long as there are no bed bugs, I don't give a shit.
By the way, for those of you out there,
Yeah,
that
that'd be a
are
deal breaker
followers,
if
I want you to know
there's
that
bed bugs,
there will
I'm outta
also
there.
be a player meet on May 4th in St. Petersburg.
Who's going to that?
For our Russian friends.
Yeah, for our Russian friends or those of you who, it'll be a cow.
I would
I
love
know.
to go to it. I mean,
Can Ukrainians come too?
Absolutely not.
oh,
Good.
that's a rough
Like
one.
you know, if you're a Russian hooker that goes to Thailand,
Hey.
and like you may not want to like come back by through. Okay, like yeah,
I
there's
saw
all
that
kinds of
article.
crazy shit going on there.
Can I switch topics sort of a little before we
Yeah,
get
what do you
too
got?
out of? So I added the link for the Streamfleet tournament that's tomorrow at 2000.
Oh yeah,
Wait, there's a
So-
Streamfleet tournament?
yeah. Jin Tan's
Yeah.
running a Streamfleet tournament.
So Jin wanted
Nice.
to set up a small tournament, really fast pace.
Posted in
he-
Twitch. I gave you the stuff.
Oh yeah, I can link it. So and it's being hosted by
Bitches.
Streamfleet. So Streamfleet,
That's
Streamfleet
cool.
guys are
Can-
obviously streaming
Can
it.
you describe what that tournament is? Because from what I
Yeah.
saw, it's going to be different.
It's a PvP
than...
tournament.
Yeah.
The
So,
Is
spaceship-
it gonna be
That's so
people shooting at each
descriptive.
So
other?
there's only 4 teams.
At least it's not a
Six
market PvP tournament. That would be really
team-
boring.
4 teams, 6 players each, and they have to pick like, so it's like what, 1 battleship, 1 battle cruiser, etc. All the way down to like you have like light like light frigates, heavy frigates, and so they had to pick no repeats within their comp.
What
so
the fuck is a heavy frigate?
So that's like an assault frigate
Assault
versus a
frigate.
light frigate, which is like an Ewar frigate. But what they did was they so you had to pick your comps and your fits. So us as commentators, and so I'm a commentator, we got to see the fits, but the other teams didn't get to see the fits. They only got to, I think they only saw the comps. So then you have to pick a comp, no repeating ships. So if you have an Armageddon in one of your comps, you can't use it in the second comp.
Similar to the AT rules, then.
Yeah, well, kind of,
Yeah.
but it leaves out like the point system because like with the Alliance Army, you have to think of points, you have to think of fits, this and
Yeah.
that. You have to try and change it up. So this is all like just pick it ahead of time. Commentators can be able to analyze things more than just kind of randomly guessing at what people are doing.
I like that.
And yeah, so it's kind of what is it? Not oh my gosh, I completely lost. Like it's single elimination. So I think they randomize the team. So we'll start out with like 1v1. So I think it's like, God, I'm like forgetting all the teams off the top of my head of who they're facing and when. But so you have like the first 2 teams play, then the second 2 teams, and then the winner of those 2 matches play. And so it's like really like 3 or
Just-
4 matches at most.
So
And
it's
then
just
it's
like
the
a
third round.
standard single elimination bracket, then.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I
and
like
it's-
that. I like that commentators can see the fits and commentate on it, because my beef with the Alliance tournament has always been that if you're not paying attention to the meta and what's going on, you're not going to understand what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
fact
like
that the commentators can fill people in as they're going will
Yeah.
make it more accessible to people who don't.
and
really
and
pay
like
attention.
and now the biggest struggle is so like because we've been talking about it behind the scenes as commentators. We're like, well, why do they pick like this weapon type with this ship, or why are they doing like Afterburner versus MWD with the rest of these ships, or little things like that. So like we still kind of have to guess at what the strategy is or what their intent is or why they picked a certain fit. But at the same time, it's 1,000 times easier than the Alliance tournament where you have to like zoom in on a ship to try and see what kind of turret they're using. And
Yep.
you have to do that for every single ship out of 10 ships and why they picked like one ship over another with like same points and this and that. So it takes a lot of the work out of the teams as well as the commentators and allows hopefully the goal is for an easier viewing experience so that you can kind of follow a bit better. Yeah, I wanted to push that out.
That sounds like a lot of
2200.
fun, Rain. Is there gonna be Logi involved with that?
Why is it?
No, there's absolutely no Logi. So you can have remote rep. You can't have remote reps. You can't have remote rep drones. You can have self reps. Like I think it's limited to like 1 ASB, and then you can have like self armor reps and whatnot. But there's absolutely no like remote repairs at all. in
Wait,
any
why
way, shape, or
isn't
form.
why isn't McGurk Jr. back at school? Isn't his back
she-
at school
The
time?
weekend.
She's done.
She goes back to
finished.
MLK. I
Who's the other one?
I got like a whole house.
Do you have a
full of,
twin?
like-
Do you have a twin?
No, she doesn't have a
Put 'em on-
twin. She
put 'em
doesn't have a
on
twin.
comms.
That's
Put 'em on
that's
comms,
the
let her
daughter.
talk.
That's the daughter of a girl that like I went to school
She
with.
doing
Like
vape
back,
rings?
my wife and I went to school with back. Yeah, so like I
Your
don't know.
daughter
They're like,
vapes?
they're like hitting shit. Like,
Yeah, but yeah, she. Don't
You
you
want-
remember Vape
you want
Nation Master that she was
everybody
dating a while
vapes
ago?
Nowadays, it's like the thing.
Gross.
Whatever.
Don't
I'll
you
throw
vape,
the
bro?
daughter on. I'll throw the daughter on. Whatever.
We were just talking. We were just talking about you coming to Vegas
What brings you?
now
No,
I'm
you
going
mean
to
Toronto.
or Toronto. I mean
You
Toronto.
excited?
I
Sorry.
just got through telling her
yeah.
you're going to Toronto.
I'm going to the aquarium.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna be
shit.
fun.
Yeah, my
Jaden,
kids
are
like
you
the
going?
I'm the one person that's not going.
Well, that's fucking
Well, I'm not
stupid.
going.
I know.
Because he's going to this stupid cruise, so he doesn't want to
Going
hang
on
out
a
with us
cruise,
plebs.
and then
Yeah,
I'm
we
taking a
can do
trip to
some fun.
Colorado, and like I'm not gonna have.
Colorado.
This is.
Yeah, it's like a family reunion thing. We're gonna go climb a mountain.
Whoa, sounds like
Oh
fun.
God.
It's
Are you gonna watch
every time I go to
whales?
do a shot thing.
in Colorado.
You're gonna go whale watching
In
on the cruise?
Alaska.
Oh! I thought in Colorado. I was like, I don't know how many whales are there, unless you're being really derogatory
Jesus
towards
Christ.
certain people. Then there might be a lot of whales, like at Walmart or something. But
Oh.
but I'm kidding. No, the cruise. There might be whales. There's gonna be. We're gonna go into like Glacier Bay, so there might be a bunch of calving with the glacier. So hopefully that'll happen, and hopefully it doesn't tip the boat over because.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
They're gonna
Please
reenact the
don't do that.
Titanic.
Yeah, it's
Go
unsinkable.
on.
Yeah, and then so I haven't even like looked at some of the shore excursions, so I'm a little. I mean, I'm sure they do some like Cessna flights. That'll probably be really expensive, but I have no clue what would. I mean, like I'm sure there's some
We
ATV
can
stuff,
figure
but
something out.
Get some
what
helmets,
else is
fish
there? Like, I
helmets.
want to do something at each stop.
Yeah,
Which stops are you
can-
going?
You can kind of wing it.
First
we
stop
don't
is
know yet.
Juneau. So like we leave Seattle.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not Juneau. We stop along Canada.
No. It's the stops on Canada are the way back. No, the first like
Oh
the
my god, I
first.
haven't looked up anything of this.
Yeah, no, I looked up the trip. So we leave Seattle and it's like I think like 2 days. The first 2 days is just sailing straight up to Juneau. And then we hit Juneau and then I don't know if we go through Glacier Bay first and then hit Juneau or we go to Juneau and then on the way out do Glacier Bay
That'd
and
be
then we
cool.
come back down to Ketchikan.
Did you already pay for Alaska?
No, well I put a $50 deposit down.
Okay.
Oh,
that
50
is-
bucks. So you can
That's
drop it
nuts.
then. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
actually, that's
yeah.
like
I would
it's like
rather
half a paycheck for Drake.
but no, it's I think it's going to be like
Paycheck
$1,800.
shaming.
How much
Yeah.
would it be for you to go to Toronto?
Probably about 1,000 to 1,500.
So
Probably
it's not
1,500.
real money. It's Canadian fake money. It can't be
How
that
much?
much.
No.
money.
How much is
The-
the flight to Syracuse?
why wouldn't you do that?
The flight to Syracuse was like right around $500 US
So-
round trip,
Toronto could cost
Someone
you
in the
$500
comments said
plus
they would go
gas.
to Toronto
and then
instead.
staying in a
See, there
hotel
you
is
go.
gonna probably cost me
The
like
cruise is gonna be
$500
fun,
bucks,
though.
and
I'm going on
then
the
They
cruise.
said
We can hook you up.
being on a cruise is like being on a moving ball. It's a waste.
I've
There
been
you
on
go.
one cruise. It was fun. I like.
Drayden, all you're gonna do is drink and eat on the cruise, but you're gonna
Dude,
drink
you're
and
going to
eat
Alaska.
with
It's not
McGurk
like you're going to
Jr.
Ireland.
I'm going to
Toronto.
my homeland. I lived in Alaska for 5 years when I was a kid.
That's so
Take me
cute.
home.
Don't get eaten by a bear, okay?
Although
Trade can
that'd
we
be
do like
bad.
a streaming
polar bear's
fundraiser
gonna
for you
attack
to go
you.
to Toronto too? Can we do that?
I feel bad about doing it. I hate doing the like, hey, I can't afford to go on this vacation, so I want all of you to pay
Trade
for it
if
for
people
me.
don't
Like
want
it's
you to
kind of like
go,
it's.
If they
I
don't
feel
want
like
you
it's
to go, they
begging.
won't pay for it. So we just gotta ask.
We
them.
should.
Downvote.
Grain, your friends.
I'll
with
throw
Manic.
$100 in that
Let's
to get Drayden to
Manic
come
make
out
like
to
a
Toronto.
sad Sarah McLaughlin SPCA commercial.
You know, maybe what I could do if
That's
I
a great idea.
We'll play it.
That's a great idea.
maybe,
All the like sad eyes, Drayden looking into the camera
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes. That would be perfect.
the other thing is well, yeah, we just need a bunch of like
Every
injured
day,
dogs,
Drayden
Sarah
is
McLaughlin, and what I might. Maybe well, no, that still wouldn't be enough money, but it would help supplement a little bit. Maybe if I started selling a bunch of plasma every week again.
You could do that, Drayden.
That's $200
Yeah,
a
stop
month if I
going
go
to-
twice a
stop.
week.
Stop going to the strip club.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. Ew.
No,
Those are dirty girls.
Oh,
Yeah, they
what?
are. They are. They're
They're hard
so dirty.
Girls. They're just trying to get through school.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the plasma thing, I mean, that would probably get me like $600 by June. It's in June.
Yeah, you can crash. this
Why don't you
session.
sell some of your things?
Sell some of my things. I don't have any things to sell.
You
Just
sell your
someone
vape for a
else's.
good amount.
You can sell what?
Your vape.
My vape.
There you go. Sell your
I
vape.
can sell for like $20 probably.
You could sell that for like 60.
No, it's like $60 brand new.
Get a
It's
jewel
a
like
shitty vape.
People
McGurk
don't
Jr.'s got.
know. People don't know.
They do know because it's got chips and stuff all over it. It's fallen.
Just
a
get
lot.
it. Just get a
Post
jewel
it.
like McGurk Jr.'s got.
I don't. But
They're a little expensive. They're pricey. 'Cause pods.
I got a cheap one because I use it. It's like if I sold it, I'd be like, now I gotta get a new one.
But you have the money.
Like the only things I have of value that I could sell for, it's like my car. I'm not gonna sell my car. My computer, I'm gonna keep that too. Other
What
than
about the
that,
San Francisco throw pillow?
Get a side job.
that's not mine. That's
Be
my
a
brother's.
bartender
And
at the
this,
strip club.
I.
You're at your parents' house right now, right?
No, I'm at my older brother's house. They're going
Okay, we'll sell
on
some of his stuff.
a vacation. I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah, why not? Just ask him for the money. He won't know.
Be a bartender at the
Well,
strip
if you
club.
ask him.
While I'm gone.
He actually doesn't even have headsets on. And he guessed what you guys are talking about.
That's awesome.
They're like, what? Oh, he's gonna be gone. I'm like, yeah. They're like, sell some of his stuff.
How big is your TV?
He's got a TV, right? There you go.
Oh yeah, put that on eBay.
Look at that.
That's got to be worth something.
Oh,
Somebody looks confused.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so all right, we're gonna set the GoFundMe up for Drayden so that he can come to Toronto because McGurk Jr. totally wants him to come. And I think the two of them together would drive Dirk so fucking crazy. It's absolutely worth the entertainment value to pay for.
Why?
That
it.
would be entertaining.
It would be perfect.
We'll get Dirk and Rain to make that commercial up. We'll play it on the next Open Talks.
Oh man.
It's me.
We're doing
Was that
ASMR now.
loud? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. ASMR.
Wasn't that loud?
Don't do that.
Oh
Gross.
man, that's
Gross.
Super cringe.
you need two. You need directional microphones for that. I don't know if we could do open ASMR
There you go.
streaming.
There you go.
Asmar? Did you say Asmar, Jeremy?
Yeah, it's
Retards.
Wait, Dirk has a shot nipple on that fucking vodka bottle?
Did you hear that? The lighter? Did you hear the
no,
lighter?
no, Theed, I looked like the cheapest flight
couldn't hear that.
anywhere.
Microphones pick
Like
up sound.
flying into Canada was more expensive. Like LB said, flying into Syracuse, and he said he'd come pick me up there.
How far are you from
There you go.
Portland or Seattle?
You
should fly into
drive
like
to
Niagara
Portland,
and have Dirk pick you
fly-
up.
Portland's like a
Toronto.
6.5 hour drive.
Yeah, it's worth it. If you can save the $600.
No,
Hitchhike.
like it would
Hello?
probably only save me $100, and I'd
Hello?
spend.
Hey, what's
I would
up,
s-
McGurk's friend?
It'd probably
McGurk Jr.'s friend.
it'd probably only save me $100, and I'd spend 60 of it driving to Portland, and then probably
You
$250
come
parking
on.
my car for a week. So
You're a gamer. You're a gamer right now. You're hanging out with us, so that's
Yeah.
good.
This is bad lighting. Look at my hair.
I know. It makes
I
me
know,
feel
right?
like
Dirk
greasy.
Dirk needs to get a better office setup so that he doesn't look so pasty on the cam.
Brisk is wearing makeup for
I always wear
stream?
makeup. I'm a professional.
I don't
You
know.
gotta have that.
just Uber the whole way. There we go. That's the cheapest way. Now, I mean, everyone's like saying, "Oh, do this." It's like flying direct to Canada. I looked at all this stuff. Flying direct is like $1,000 round trip to go into Toronto. So flying is-
Toronto.
How?
yeah,
How
I
is it
don't know.
$1,000?
because Spokane's not a
What-
huge
this is-
airport.
hey, what-
And
Oh, because you're flying from the middle of nowhere. That's why.
yeah, the thing is like,
It's like
and
$600 for me, like with a layover.
it's like 500 to go to Syracuse, and Elby said he'd pick me up if I did that. So
Yes.
the flight I could do for $500. That's pretty cheap to go all the way over there because that's like it's probably a 2,000-mile flight for me.
It's not opposite side of the country.
Pretty much. No, I lucked out because I'm about as far north as that is. I just have to go straight over, but I'm like 2,000 miles west of there. So, but then there's the hotel, and then there's the food and the drinks. So it's still gonna cost like total. It's gonna
I'm gonna
probably
go
be
now.
$12 to
Bye.
$1,500. See it?
Fly McGurk's friend.
I'm sure you can
Yeah.
split a room with someone.
I mean, I probably.
Man, I'm
could.
sorry for you guys because the prices for the flights are like $200 round trip for me. So
Yeah, but you live in.
I'm sorry you live in the
DC.
middle of nowhere,
You're
Dirk.
yeah, you're in a huge. You're in like what the
Drayden.
third biggest city in the country.
well, I don't think we're the third. We're in the top like 20.
No, I think if you look at metropolitans, I think New York's first, LA's second, and DC's third.
Well, I think.
All right,
Oh no, no,
Chicago's
Metro's. I
third.
think Dallas is.
Tonight.
Oh, Houston. Yeah, Houston Metro is bigger, but I think DC is bigger. Like city. Like if you look at just city populations, I think DC's third.
No, that's Chicago. I think we're in the 10.
Oh, I thought DC was bigger then. I don't know.
No, we got like my county has 1 million people in it, but overall around here it's not that. We're number 6. We are 6.
Oh, yeah.
We're behind Dallas, Houston, and Chicago, so we're number 6.
The other one looks at me. She goes, "They're talking about adult stuff."
Yeah. I'm in the.
Yeah, we're talking about fly to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm in the second biggest city.
I'm like, that doesn't seem to happen this time of night.
Yeah,
like not adult like XXX type stuff, but just like old people shit.
I didn't mean fucking nudie type, pasties on the nipples shit. I just meant like adult stuff. Like this is so far beyond what like if you'd have mentioned Fortnite, she probably would have been like, "Oh, what? I know people at school that play Fortnite."
How many Fortnite dances does she know?
Which, by the way, I still continue. I got into a fucking debate with these motherfuckers the other day, and they're like, "Do you play Fortnite?" They asked me if I played games. I'm like, "Yeah, I play games." And they're like, "You play Fortnite?" I go, "No," because Fortnite is a fucking anime dancing first-person shooter. I don't play that shit.
It's a kid's game. It's a child's game.
It's a fucking kid's first-person shooter. It's literally literally the menthol cigarettes of fucking
it's not a gamer's type of game. It's a mainstream kind of game. It's like Candy Crush now. Like my kid who considers himself a gamer, and I give him credit because he's playing WoW at age 8 and doing pretty well. He hates it. He can't stand Fortnite. He hates it now.
Good man.
Like he doesn't want anything to do with Fortnite anymore. He played it in the beginning, but then his mom started playing it, and she was doing good at it.
Nobody wants to play.
And as soon as my wife, who plays no games, is okay at Fortnite, yeah, that was the end of that.
I'm gonna be honest. Look, I was totally into fucking Eve until like April of last year when my mom started playing it, and I'm just like, you know what? I just can't do it anymore.
We all liked Eve until Rain's mom started playing, and then
maybe
that was the end of
Fuck
it.
you guys.
Like Drew, like we're all trying to get like our moms and like our kids into this shit, and maybe it's like, you know what? We just need to have this to be for us. We need to have it be the thing for us.
Well, that's the thing. Like I play WoW, and I've been streaming WoW with my kid because he really likes to do that.
Us,
and
by
fun.
us.
I will not have him play Eve until he's like 20, because there's no way.
Whatever, bitches.
It's not gonna happen.
People have been playing Eve.
Oh my god,
since
Mrs.
early
LB
on.
has a Twitch account.
I know. What? Elo started when he was 11 or something. So yeah.
Oh man.
People start early.
I'm gonna be honest. As the night goes on, this gets smoother. But I'm gonna be serious.
Everything does though.
Everything gets smoother as you drink more of the dirt.
Like by the end of the night, swill tastes
I'm gonna
okay.
do nothing but mix this with shit like the next time because Look,
Division 2 looks
Shots.
good. I have been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey like it's going out
Division
of style.
2 looks awesome.
I just like it.
I am going to be honest.
Resident Evil 2 looks good.
Pre-ordered Division 2 today for $100 plus tax. Fuck you, tax collecting people out there.
Why is it $100?
The government.
It's a collector's edition.
Brisk, if the government shut down, why do we still have to pay taxes from our paychecks?
Oh, because you got to pay taxes no matter what.
But wait. We take taxes out of our paychecks, but the government shut down. Why are we paying when they're not working?
That's why hey, look.
Police departments are still working.
I was working on my taxes today, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Although that's local taxes.
No more shutdown talk.
And a bunch of you other motherfuckers out there, look, we're going to eradicate that fucking city. We're going to make sure the orange boss at the end gets fucking mowed down because, we all know who caused the fucking outbreak.
Wait,
what are you talking about? Are we talking about the shutdown?
We're talking about Division 2.
Division 2, which is also in...
At the end, the shutdown? Like, are we sure we're talking about the same thing?
No shutdown talk.
Shut down.
Now, is the boss at the end gonna have a comb over? Like...
You know he
That's
is.
a good question.
I swear to God, if I get to the final fucking room, it's not some fat fucking orange bastard with a comb over and his big-titted fucking daughter over on the fucking side.
When you said orange, I was thinking the orange name meaning like a high boss.
Why did I buy the season pass?
I didn't think the fake tan, but
Oh man.
oh.
That being said, you know what? The Division was actually a fucking badass game. I did not get completely into the fucking Dark Zone. I'm sure I will not get completely into the fucking Dark Zone of this game.
I never did the Dark
However,
Zone.
The storyline was absolutely... Ubisoft, I'm sorry, God bless. You put out a fucking good game. I can't sit there and say, you know, bugs were an issue or any of that fucking shit. Good fucking game. I did pre-order. I will be in that on the fucking pre-game. I will be looking for some of you motherfuckers out there who played it before, and we will play it again.
Yep.
You never pre-order. Never.
So wait, I was like,
can I admit something?
Why?
I've never played the
Why
Division.
wouldn't you pre-order?
Vision's
Why
good.
wouldn't you?
It's
They're
all
not
right.
gonna run
Why
out
would
of
I
digital
not?
copies of Division 2 like in a grip. Why would you pre-order?
Because there's
I'm
always
not
they
gonna
always
be
give
able
you
to
some
get, like,
pre-order
I'm not
shit.
gonna be able to
And-
get like
Don't-
copied
don't
floppy
fall for
disks
that.
from my friend.
Yeah, I never got
But
the pre-order
I guess in
for digital copies.
1983.
Yeah, like it made sense back in the day when you had to go down to GameStop to get your game, like in a box, and use the disc to
They're not
install it.
even-
But nowadays it's digital. It's like
They're
so
not
you
even
pre-order
doing
it, so you just
fucking
log in.
stream- They're not even doing fucking Steam, okay? Which honestly,
Yeah, but the first one
But
never.
look,
did.
they do it, but it's all through this Ubisoft thing.
No,
so
hold on.
No, you can't buy it on Steam. It's
not-
only through Ubisoft.
You
not
can't
good
buy it on
right.
Steam,
No,
really?
you can't.
No,
No
it's
kidding.
not going to be on Steam at
That's
all.
They are
weird.
not going
Because
to-
they don't want
Their
Steam
own
to take their
fucking
cut.
store, and they want to sell their games through their own fucking
Get somebody
store.
who actually
That
knows how
drives
to
me
have
nuts
stuff.
because I got this Ubisoft thing, I got this Bethesda launcher bullshit, I've got Origin.
Origin.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
like what the fuck?
Blizzard.
You got yeah.
Blizzard
Yeah,
Battle.net.
Battle.net.
Yeah, it's just come on.
Fuck off. Just put it on Steam.
Yeah.
I agree, but the thing is, the first Division wasn't on Steam either. I don't think.
Never
But-
played it.
Epic.
Never
They're
played it.
using Epic for their wannabe stream.
What the
type
hell is it?
service.
I don't even. What is that? Is that a thing?
The
It
game
is
I've
a
never heard of
studio.
that.
It's another.
And here's the thing. I was really fucking uptight.
I have
about
GOG
this.
too for Battlefield.
I was really uptight about the fact that they weren't going to be on stream because I just like my shit in a fucking single library where like it works really well like fucking Steam does. Okay, but they're
Now-
going with Epic. All right. That being said, I am going to say this: the monopoly that Steam would gain by having all of this shit just run through them. Period. I do understand.
They would
that.
love
It's
it.
the same.
Can't
Look,
have that.
it's
You've got to have a competitor to Steam out
Steam was the
there. Steam takes
Netflix of.
30%.
The
But
problem
Steam is the
Well-
Netflix of game stuff.
The problem
Like it's the
is
same
it's
reason what
not
all
a
the guys are doing with
competitor.
Netflix. They're getting out and making
like
their own.
Blizzard, like Battle.net is not a competitor to Steam because Battle.net is only Blizzard games. Origin
Right,
is
it's just
only
Overwatch
EA.
and
It's not,
WoW and
it's not a
StarCraft.
competitor.
Wouldn't
it's
you
just some
rather
extra
have
bullshit
two or three?
you have to fucking
Wouldn't you rather
download.
have 2 or 3 consolidators out there? Okay, because you've allowed other competitors to get involved, and like compete against Steam, right? Than have every game manufacturer just sit there and go, "Fuck it, only buy it through us," right? Steam takes 30% of the revenue, and it might be only up to $10 million or whatever the hell it is. Epic is 12%. So you're gonna
It's
have
only
pe-
Epic's
you're gonna-
games though.
Hold on,
Like,
you're-
like I,
no,
I would, I would.
no, hold on.
They're working
It's
on
not
expanding
only
it.
Epic's
Oh,
games
they're working on-
because
okay,
literally Ubisoft just threw the Division 2 over to them and said, "Yo, motherfucker, you're our
Okay,
bitch."
okay.
Steam is an asshole. Now, once Epic, as long as they do something with their entire fucking model and all of the other resources that are involved with them, actually invest in their fucking model and shit like that, and we get a competitor out there, now we've got competitors for other game manufacturers to move to and things like that. Because I do not want to end up with the old days. And what the old days were when you went to fucking Babbage's or
Floppies?
Egghead Software or whatever, and you bought the fucking disc off the fucking wall and you just loaded it in. I do not want that, but in an E form. I want to have consolidators out there, but where they compete against one another for the revenue. And you've got maybe you end up in the grand scheme of things with 2, like Sirius and XM. Oh no, but they merged. It's more like the airlines where you've got like a smaller crew of consolidators out there. Say, look, we've got our platforms. Our
Airline industry's
platforms are
trash.
strong because we are monetarily, profitable and shit like that. Let it be like that. Not let it be just a monopoly of one. Steam is amazing. I love you, Steam. You do a really great job, but you do need a competitor, and you know it because you're charging 30 fucking %, you dumb fuck.
So license says
Wow.
it protects companies from chargebacks, and I agree they need competitors, but only if they are as good, if not better than Steam. What I don't want is 20 fucking launchers on my computer for all
Agreed.
these random
But
fucking
I also don't want
studios who are
50
like,
But
fucking
this-
double clicks on my
I'm glad you
computer.
guys brought this up because I just remembered. I had a direct-to-drive account like 15 years ago, and I just pulled it up, and I'm looking at some of these games that I have that are still on here. Oh my god! Like this
I'm gonna
is
tell you right
ancient.
now,
Like
I am not
Civilization
going back to the-
4. I have
am not
on
going
this thing.
back to the time of the fucking A drive and 18 fucking floppy 3.5-inch discs that I gotta fucking load in. Although
SWAT
I gotta,
4.
although I gotta be honest, that game was a finished product when I did load it in. There were no updates to that shit, and it had no bugs.
What's happening to the frame rate?
We beep boops.
Well, wait, am I roboting?
Man, this is crazy.
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Everything's fine.
I'm just saying, like, I'm looking
Jack
at.
T Gamer, when can we hang out? We can hang out in motherfucking Toronto. Come to Eve Toronto or Eve North or whatever the fuck they call that shit. Toronto. June,
hold on,
motherfucker.
we're chopping hard. I think the bandwidth
going on?
Chopping?
the bandwidth is taking a shit.
Because my wife is on the
See
internet.
it, yeah.
It's probably because it's close
Is
to
your
the
brother on
show.
Pornhub again?
Is it Rain's forehead? That's
Oh,
taking
they
that
might have
bandwidth,
started
or-
Netflix up. Hold on, let me see.
It looks fine what I'm looking at.
Holy shit,
He's
dude.
So,
only got
we only
what
have
fucking
4
hour?
minutes?
Fine to me.
Wait,
You
we
in
only have 4
Mississippi?
minutes. Do you guys have anything with brand new TV time or expected TV time you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the John Wick 3 trailer.
John
Did I
Wick
see
came
that?
out?
Ooh,
Horses
John
and
Wick
stuff.
3,
looks-
May
which looks
17th.
like
Yes.
Mark your calendars.
John Wick.
Slightly older Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves
It's gonna
doesn't
be
age. Stop lying.
Anything with Ian McShane in it, I will watch. And the fact that he's in John Wick makes me very happy. Haley Berry's in it. She looks great. Like, I didn't even recognize
Halle
her.
Berry.
Look,
Whatever,
Look,
I don't
I'm
wanna-
just,
I'm
just
like
gonna
Billy
fucking
and
stop- I'm
Violet.
just gonna stop you right now. It's like, look,
What?
Halle Berry was a fucking good-looking woman back in the fucking day, but you can't say she looks great now. She was a good-looking woman back in the fucking day, which was a high kind of accolade, and now you can't just be like,
Yeah.
she's great.
Punisher Season 2 is also coming out.
Oh, yeah, what is
Space
that?
Force is coming to Netflix.
Space Force,
Is
Steve
who's it
Carell.
starring? Yeah,
Steve
The
Carell
Office.
and the creators
Steve
of The
Carell.
Office are creating Space Force about the people who are designed to, the people who are supposed to implement Space Force. This was one of the best fucking things I saw on Twitter this past week about the whole
Steve
idea.
Carell
of,
is getting $1 million
Trump
an
Space
episode.
Force, and the fact that these are the guys who are like, all right, guys, how do we fucking do this? Which
$1 million
honestly should be
per
one
episode?
episode with one Air Force guy going in going, but we already do it. Okay, bye. Episode over.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I think it's starting to chop up. I think they started a movie, but we're like 2 minutes from the end, so.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, so
Game
tell
of
them to
Thrones
pause.
and Game of Thrones.
Game of
in
Thrones
April.
is in a few
Or
months.
Expanse, they're doing
They
another.
did it-
Yeah,
April.
they're doing another
April
season,
Game
aren't
of
they?
Thrones.
The last season is coming up, and they did a teaser, which was pretty
Wait, but
good.
wait, Expanse,
April
they're doing
Game
another
of
season,
Thrones.
right?
Expanse, they better be doing another season because they're not even close to being through
And
the
by the
books
way,
yet.
if all of you fucking missed it during the things that got fucking released out there, yes, April, Game of Thrones, final fucking season. We will literally ruin your fucking night at the end of the fucking thing. Watch it on time, okay?
No,
You
don't.
gotta watch that stuff.
That being said,
Don't do that to me.
That being said, I hope you didn't miss the fact that there is a new HBO show coming out about what the fuck is that goddamn comic book series? The one with Captain Millennium or whatever his name is.
Captain.
Captain-
America? Not Captain America.
No.
Captain
The
Marvel.
nuclear guy.
Captain Marvel's a new movie.
No, the nuclear guy. Captain
Captain Nuclear.
wait, Watchmen.
Watchmen?
The Watchmen series.
The Watchmen.
Oh,
okay.
Watchmen
yeah.
is
You mean
going to be a
Doctor-
series
Dr.
on
Manhattan or whatever.
HBO. Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
I said nuclear. What the fuck?
There's
Why didn't you
Shazam
say
is
read my
coming
mind?
out too. Shazam's another
The
one. that's
blue
coming out.
dude.
The movie.
Exactly.
The blue
Okay,
dude.
Hold on. Here's the fucking deal, right? This is not going to be as straight to the book as the movie was. The movie was like really kind of fucking straight to the book. They're not going in that direction. So that's going to be fucking interesting. And the fact is, on HBO means boobs.
Nice.
Fact.
Perfect.
Dirk doesn't see enough of those in his life, guys.
So
There's
what I'm
never
saying
enough, Rain.
is
There's
that-
always
is
room
that-
for more.
Today.
is that Lieutenant Horgirl going to be naked at some point?
Speaking of Lieutenant girls, I was very sad to see the super strong chick on the Orville is not on the show this season.
She's
That
not.
made me sad.
Why?
Yeah, they wrote her off for like I don't know.
How did they write
I
her
guess
up?
she had.
They
She was
they got rid of
storyline
her and not
She
that.
broke her arm or something and had to go back to her planet to like fix herself up or
She
something.
broke her
the
arm.
last
She's like the
episode.
strongest chick in the world. She can't get a
I
medical.
know, right? But it's awesome because the hologram doctor from Star Trek Voyager is her dad, and he was in that episode and it was pretty good. Robert Picardo.
Yeah, that guy
Yeah,
was
that
good.
guy's
Like
good.
that was I did
He's
not like
awesome.
Voyager, but that character was pretty good.
You know what? Voyager.
blasphemy.
The thing that made me laugh about Voyager was exactly like every other Star Trek show except for Star Trek Discovery, which completely sucks dog shit. It takes like a season or two to get off the ground, but once it gets off the ground, it's really good. Like the last couple seasons of
we gotta
Voyager
go.
are
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
We got to go. The meta show is coming up next. The Matani is doing a late night Pacific Coast
Oh,
kind of like party thing out there where he's gonna
King
have like
of Clubs.
Oh, is he
GoPro
really?
cameras and like sex scenes and like crazy shit like that. Don't worry.
Am I
hang
getting
out.
trolled right
the
now?
rest of us are going to hang out over in Drayden's channel. So it's like, be there, jerk off, have a good time.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
order.
All right, none of that.
Good night,
We'll
everybody.
do a shot for the road.
Good
We'll
night.
do a
Yeah.
shot for the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Later, bitches.
Later, bitches.
Later, bitches.
Later.
Good night, Avalon.